We start, sir.
जी अभी शायद 1 मिनट बाकी है क्या?
सर 1 मिनट आप जैसा निर्देश करें सर.
टाइम तो देख लेना, ये 4 बज जाए ठीक शुरू करिए. तब
सर
3:59 है शायद अभी.
सर
तो यहाँ की घड़ी मालूम नहीं कहाँ पर क्या है.
Namaskar and a very warm welcome to all of you. Respected Professor Nageshwar Rao, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Dr. Mahapatra, Director RSD, Dr. VP Rupam, Director Campus Placement Cell, Dr. Hema Pant, Additional Director RSD, Dr. Ashok Sharma, Regional Director RC Delhi 1, my esteemed colleagues of Regional Center Delhi 1 and 3, and esteemed alumni of Regional Centers Delhi 1 and Delhi 3. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this alumni meet. I'm extremely thankful and grateful to Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for having very kindly agreed to grace this alumni meet and spare his valuable time amidst his very, very busy schedule. Before we initiate the program, we'll start with the Kulgeet of the university. May I now request for the play of Kulgeet, please.
Dr. Pandey, there is no voice, so please start it again and ensure that both picture and voice comes simultaneously.
That's right. Please start the Kulgeet once again. Audio is not there. Can you please start the Kulgeet once again?
जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय, देश विदेश पटल पर मूषित नवाचार से सज्जित, गुणवत्ता से परिपूरित, ज्ञानवाणी ज्ञान दर्शन ज्ञान कोश से संचित, ज्ञान कोश से संचित, सर्वगुण संपन्न शिक्षा का हिमालय, शिक्षा का हिमालय, यह जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय, जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय।
Once again, I welcome you all. Alumni Meet is a very important initiative taken by the university. And before I talk about briefly about Regional Center Delhi 3, I would like to just inform all our participants, particularly alumni participants, that Indira Gandhi National Open University has been infused with a new vibrance ever since the joining of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, which has resulted into the award of A++ grade by NAC to the university in the year 2021. And the year 2021 ended with the ranking of the university as #1 amongst the non-technical category for innovations effected in the university system. And this has resulted into not only to extend the outreach of the university system, but also enable the learners to get the best possible support even during the pandemic and most difficult times of the COVID-19. Regional Center Delhi 3 has been amongst the high enrollment regional centers of the country. 2021 recording, despite the pandemic of 2019, we recorded the highest enrollment of 85,000 plus learners spread across 125 programs of study. During the year 21 itself, in the last convocation, about 12,000 odd learners were awarded degrees and diplomas. And till date, if we talk it out in terms of the cumulative strength of the learners as on date is of Regional Center Delhi 3, I'm talking of 3,65,224, and more than 67,000 learners have been awarded degrees and diplomas. The university has been endeavoring to provide the best possible support through the various e-portal, electronic media, particularly the Gyan Darshan, Gyanvani, the Facebook page, social media like Facebook, Twitter, and other social media to ensure that the proper teaching learning takes place. And one of the recent and most important initiatives taken by the university has been to provide academic counseling support to the learners in the vernacular language, in tune with the National Education Policy of 2020. So with these few words, I once again welcome you all. And now may I request Dr. Ashok Sharma to give a brief about his Regional Center Delhi 1. Over to Dr. Sharma, please.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, respected Director RSD, sir, Director Campus Placement Cell, Dr. Hema Pant and other colleagues at RSD, Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, sir, Director RC Delhi 3 and other colleagues at Regional Center Delhi 3, my colleagues at Regional Center Delhi 1, dear alumni and all other students. I welcome you from my side and from the side of our university to this alumni meeting today. As briefed by my colleague, my senior colleague, Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, our university has seen many achievements during the recent timings, and you also might be knowing about that. Now I am briefly introducing our Regional Center Delhi 1. Regional Center Delhi 1 was established in the year 1989 as the Delhi Regional Center. It is one of the oldest regional centers of our university. Subsequently, after the establishment of another regional center in Delhi and bifurcation of jurisdiction area in 1998, this regional center was recherished as Delhi 1. The jurisdiction area of Delhi 1 was further divided after the establishment of yet another regional center at Dwarka at that time, Delhi 3, in 2008. This regional center is among the first generation regional centers of the university. As such, it has been witnessed to and an active participant in the process of evolution, growth, and periodic modification to suit the changing requirement of the ODL system, as also increased expectation from all concerned stakeholders. The regional center is among the high enrollment centers of the country, serving a large population of the students from different strata of the society. Talking about the past year 2021, we have also got the total enrollment cumulative strength of January and July sessions, including fresh and RR, 82,000, approximately 82,000 learners we have served during the year 2021. Extensive academic and administrative support is provided to all the enrolled students through a network of 30 active learner support centers located in its jurisdiction area, and we are serving the students from the areas of Mehroli, Chanakyapuri, Lodhi Colony, South Extension, Sangam Vihar, Friends Colony, and Faridabad and Palwal districts of Haryana also. All 5 districts are covered under the jurisdiction of RC Delhi 1. Further, I am glad to inform you that we are having presently 15 regular study centers, 14 program study centers, and 1 special study center in Faridabad jail. Total number of programs activated at our various LSEs is 126. But as the university has made a provision that all the programs of the university are now activated at all the regional centers. So we are enrolling each and every student who is coming to us for getting enrollment and admission, and we are providing them all type of academic and administrative support services. Total number of academic counselors, active academic counselors at present are approximately 1,800, and we are providing continuous student support services to the students through email, phone, and Facebook. And recently we have provided the academic counseling support services to international learners of Guyana also. So these all are our brief activities and our brief profile of the regional center Delhi 1. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok Sharma ji. May I now request Dr. VP Rupam to say a few words about the initiatives of the campus placement cell, particularly about the alumni meets which is being organized. Dr. Rupam, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pandey. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, respected Director RSD, Dr. Mahapatra, my colleagues, Dr. Pandey at Delhi 3, Dr. Sharma at Delhi 1, Dr. Hema Pant, the Secretary of the Alumni Association, Mr. Nishit Sarkar, who is present here, is the Joint Secretary of the Alumni Association, and other members of the Alumni Association, and most importantly, the distinguished alumni who are participating in this meeting today. A very, very warm welcome to you in this meeting. Well, today is yet another moment in a very long but immensely satisfying journey that began sometime in August. Every Sunday, we meet the alumni of a particular region, and the experience that we carry back with us keeps us charged for the whole week till the next Sunday, and we eagerly look forward to this Sunday 4 p.m. time. And to me, this alumni meet is an occasion to celebrate your success, to revive our connect, to refresh the memories that we spent together, and to welcome you back into the world's largest family of alumni. I'll very briefly share with you the initiatives that we have taken in the recent past to facilitate this re-establishment of alumni connect with the university. As I said, we are a very, very large family and scattered across the world. Not only that we have presence in the other countries, but many of our students who studied in India have settled in abroad, have taken up very good jobs have been successful in their life. So we have a global footprint. Now, through this exercise, we are trying to build a global community of alumni who can interact with each other on a regular basis, connect with each other, share their experience, share their ideas, and in the process, build a global community which helps the university in achieving its mandate. We did some very simple things, but they have proved to be rewarding. The first thing we did was I'll share my screen with the permission of the host so that I can show you the initiatives we have taken. The university has its Facebook page, but we thought that we need to give an exclusive space to our alumni. So we created a Facebook page for alumni. This is the alumni Facebook page. And we believe that this page gives a platform to all our alumni to connect with each other, to connect with the university, to share their ideas, to share their thoughts, to give feedback to the university. And this page has been established sometime in August, but I was looking at this figure today. In the last 28 days, more than 47,000 people have reached this page. Now, when we posted the message about today's meeting, today's virtual alumni meet, you can see more than 6,400 people have reached this. And I believe that in addition to those who are participating in this meeting through the Google Meet, others are participating in this meeting through our Facebook and through our YouTube. The programs are going live. We also give all the updates about the events that are taking place in the university, the developments that are taking place in the university, because we believe that our alumni need to know about what is happening in the university. Recently, we launched an online version of our MA English program, and this will be available to the whole world, to all the people across the globe. These are some of the photographs of the Republic Day celebration at the university campus. And one after the other, we are launching different programs. This is PG Diploma and Migration and Diaspora being launched, and various events. The inauguration of the building at Regional Center building at Regional Center Karnal. And there is so much more. There is so much more. I would request all of you to please visit this page, like this page, follow this page. In addition to the information about the events, many of our distinguished alumni have shared their experiences in the form of short videos, and we have uploaded those videos on this page. And these videos are being watched by the current learners, and they get inspired. For example, one of the meetings that took place recently, you can see more than nearly 9,000 people have reached, and they have watched this video. And this was with our regional centers, Shillong, Imphal, and Kohima. So every day this page is becoming popular. With your support, we can reach out to more and more people. So please visit this page, follow this page, and leave your comments, share your feedback through short videos. The other thing we thought we must do is that we must have a database of our alumni. So we created an alumni portal. This is a very simple looking portal, but it has some wonderful features. Now, until now, only our current students had an account, a login on the university portal. Now all our alumni have an account, a login on the university portal. All you have to do to register is to visit this page, ignoalumni.samarth.edu.in. This is available on the university website also, and also on our Facebook page. I will also type the URL of this in the chat box in a short while. So first time you have to register, and the process of registration is very, very simple. You click new registration, and the registration page opens, you have to give very little information here. The regional center from where you have completed your program, you select the program that you have completed. They are in drop down. You type your name here, the year of passing, your enrollment number, your mobile number, and your email, and you have to click save. Once you save this information, it will come to us. We will verify the details, and the moment we verify the details, you will get an email requesting you to create your own account. Once you create your account, you come back on the same page, and with the password that you have created, your enrollment number remains your user ID, and you come back to this page, you use your enrollment number and password to log in. And once you log in, you can create your profile there. You can upload your photograph, you can upload your latest qualifications and experience, your current job position, and this is all real time. So we will have a real-time live database of our alumni across the world. In the effort that we made very recently, we have more than 19,000 alumni who have registered in this portal in the past few months. So my request to you is that while this program is going on, please register on the portal. And while the program is going on, I'll verify your details. You will get an email and you can create your account. So my request to you, to all of you, is that by the end of this program, please register on the alumni portal. I'll stop the presentation here because I want to have all the time available to us to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rupam, for giving the detailed account of registration and the way in which this portal is becoming more and more popular. May I now request our director, Dr. Mahapatra, sir, to kindly address. Dr. Mahapatra, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao, sir, my colleagues, Dr. B.P. Rupam, Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, Dr. Ashok Sharma, Dr. Hema Pant, and other members of the Alumni Association of IGNOU, and very distinguished alumni members who are present here. It's quite heartening to meet all of you on a Sunday evening. I just want to inform all of you that it is the 23rd alumni meet, and we have started a series of alumni meet from the month of August. And our last alumni meet, covering all 56 regional centers of IGNOU, will be on next Sunday, that is on 6th of February. And then we'll be covering 2 other regional centers in Delhi NCR region, the Delhi 2 and the Noida regional center. That will be our last. We deliberately kept the regional centers of Delhi NCR region for the finishing touch because we wanted to get the feedback from other regional centers. And Delhi, represents the whole country. Delhi is cosmopolitan, Delhi is the capital, and Delhi represents the whole country. So our alumni in Delhi, they represent all parts of the country, east, west, north, south, and northeast. And all the 4 regional centers, Delhi 1, Delhi 2, Delhi 3, and Noida, together, they have a representation of almost 30% of the total strength of the university, student strength. Now, when we say students are learners, and particularly open distance learning, We don't address you as a student, we address you as a learner. Let me also share this information with you that the strength of our alumni has exceeded the strength of our active students. In 36 years, we have 36 lakh alumni. And at present, we have 35 lakh active students. So for the first time, our alumni have exceeded the strength of the active students of the university. This is something which I consider as a milestone for an institution which is 36 years old. So 36 lakh alumni in 36 years is a wonderful, wonderful achievement. And we all feel very proud of our alumni. Because in all these 36 years, we have very closely interacted with you all. And we know that many of you hold very distinguished positions in different spheres of our society. Some are bureaucrats, some are military officers, some are police officers, some are bank officials, some work in the NGO sector, some are college teachers, university teachers, school teachers, and so many diverse fields. This can only be possible in a university like Indira Gandhi National Open University. You can't see any other university in this country which is parallel to IGNOU in terms of the profile of its learners and its distinguished alumni. And therefore, we always feel very proud of our alumni and very proud of our distinguished learners also. And this particular initiative of the university to get connected with the alumni is because we thought that time has come now to extend our family. 36 lakh alumni and 35 lakh active students, altogether 71 lakhs, which itself is mind-boggling for any university anywhere in the world. And we want to cash on, to capitalize on the contribution that our distinguished alumni are making to this society. And therefore, we thought that every Sunday we'll meet all of you to get your feedback about what the university has done, what the university is doing, and what the university should do in future in the context of the National Education Policy 2020, in the context of the new changes that are coming because of the massive explosion in information and communication technology. Our RD Delhi 1 was saying the genesis of the regional center Delhi 1. 1989, we had our regional center in Delhi 1. Then we had a regional center in Delhi 2. We established a regional center in Delhi 3, Dwarka. And we also established a regional center in Noida, which covered part of Delhi and part of Uttar Pradesh. And altogether, these 4 regional centers combined together represent almost 30% of the strength of the university. We are experimenting with these new regional centers, in terms of reaching out to the national level, because some of them are nodal centers for programs in which student can be enrolled from anywhere in the country. And they are sitting in Delhi, they are providing all kinds of student support to the students in any part of the country. And Delhi 1 has now gone international. They are providing counseling support to students in Guyana, a South American country. And maybe in future, our Delhi 2, Delhi 3 and Noida will also do the same kind of exercise. So this shows that sitting in Delhi, we can cater to the educational requirements of not only the country, but outside the country. And in this whole initiative, whole process, we want your contribution, your involvement, your initiative. How our alumni can get involved in the process as a mentor, as a facilitator, as a counselor, as an evaluator, as a supervisor, as a motivator. That is the motto. And therefore, we decided that we will connect with all of you on a Sunday evening and take your feedback on how the university should move forward. We are very fortunate that our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao sir, is with us. He is a pillar of strength for all of us. Every Sunday in these 23 meetings, sir is with us to motivate us, to inspire us, and to give the direction and guidance and blessings to all of us, including our alumni, on what is the way ahead for this great institution of higher learning called Indira Gandhi National Open University. I welcome all of you to this alumni meet, and we are really looking forward to your feedback, to your input, and sharing of your experience of what you have experienced as a learner of the university. Now that many things have changed, how do you see the university should change, adapt itself to the new situation? All these things are the objective of this interactive session with the distinguished alumni. I will stop here, but I'll invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageshwar Rao sir, to give his guidance, his blessings to all of us and address the distinguished alumni of Delhi 1 and Delhi 3 region of IGNOU. Sir, please.
Good evening to all of you. Dr. Mahapatra, Dr. Rupam, Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, Dr. Ashok Sharma, Hema Pant, my own colleagues and distinguished alumni. "23rd meeting, and I'm happy to see that my colleagues, they're continuously ensured their presence. Meeting to all of you spread not only in our country but also abroad, and reaching to them through regional centers. The contents which we are speaking to you all is almost the same. Every time we want to re-emphasize the connect with our own family members. As has been pointed out by Dr. Mahapatra, that we are 36, 36 and 35. And this gives us a lot of strength. Our family is now immediately jumped from 35 lakhs to 71 lakhs. When I proudly say to anyone that my family is of 71 lakh IGNOU family, which includes teachers, which includes non-teaching staff, which includes academics, which includes our existing learners and also our past learners. And past learners, I do always feel that there is a lot of attachment. And as a teacher, I always feel young seeing to my old students, because I am also in the teaching profession since 1978, 44 years. And when I get a student of 1978 batch, 79, 80, they still remember me. And I also feel happy and joyous also. These are the joyous moments of my life. So whenever I feel that the number is 36 lakhs, definitely I never wanted to miss every Sunday. Even if I am not at the headquarters, I try to connect with you all through mobiles. And that shows the importance of technology. Even you can also connect. Right now, the numbers may be very few present over here, but you can see the videos later on. Because as we see that when we had a meeting with regional centers, the alumni of Northeast, 3 regional centers, the presence here was only less than 100. But the alumni viewed more than 9,000. So I know that at your convenience, at your ease, and that is the motive of this university. Learning at your own pace, learning as per your own convenience, time, place, duration, everything is convenient. So the same thing is also there. I can also see you, and you can also see me. And whatsoever you want to share, that can also be shared in that portal. Because this is a unique experimentation. Normally, the alumni meets, they are being conducted in a single day. 100, 200, 500, 5,000, they assemble on a day. And then they disperse. And then we collect some few photographs and keep it with us. Now, we can meet every day. This platform has provided us an opportunity to get our day-to-day progress, because you all are keenly interested in IGNOU, how the IGNOU is doing it, because you are the biggest stakeholders, as has been pointed out by Mahapatra. 35 lakhs others, and we teachers and other people, they will not exceed even 4 to 5,000. So you are the biggest stakeholders for this great university. Because of your goodwill, we all are reaching all these milestones. Because of your branding, because you started working in the field. And then the people, they've thought that, yes, you are the right persons. And the IGNOU is the right place to study. Wherever you worked, wherever you showed your worth, people appreciated. And that appreciation, it has come in terms of enrollment. Look at the major numbers which we were having earlier, and now the numbers which you are getting every 6 months. Even the July session, the numbers, they were 5,35,000 fresh learners, plus 3,50,000, they are the re-registered learners. Every session, this much of numbers we are getting it. And the type of system, the type of structure which you all have visualized, the same is being sustained to see that how we can provide much better learner support services. Recently, from January 6, we had one more experimentation to meet our objectives, that is access. Teaching in mother tongue. And there are 13 languages which were identified. Initially, this experimentation we carried on for undergraduate programs. So now, sociology, history, political science, all these subjects for which every day, 3 hours live classes we are holding in 13 languages, including English, Hindi, and Urdu. A student of Tamil Nadu may get the inputs, at least the teaching content, teaching part in Tamil. Kerala student get in Malayalam. Punjabi student gets in Punjabi. Bengali student gets in Bengali. Assamese also people are getting it. Now through that, by 31st of January, it will be around 100 hours of this extensive reach in 13 mother tongues, which caters around 90% of our people. An experiment, and we also feel that our people are very, very enthusiastic. Our colleagues who are working at the regional center, our colleagues who are working at the headquarters, they feel enthusiastic to show that, yes, we are reaching to those for which the institution was established. We maintain quality. We try to see that our programs are affordable. And we also see that how additional learner support services they can be added. Almost all programs of undergraduation, they were revised. Our BA program, it is having the generic courses, it is having language courses, it is having soft skill courses, it is having the core courses. Environmental concerns are also being addressed over here. So whether it is soft skill, language skills, or technical skills, all are being incorporated in that structure. BCom is there, our MBA is there, approved by AICT, MCA is also there, approved by AICT. They all have become online also. BCom is online, BCA is online, along with the BCom, along with the ODL structure. Recently, a month back, our university was rated first in innovations, and that too amongst all the central universities, including national institutions of national importance, under non-technical category. No one can expect that people from distant learning, they can do the innovations and they can become number one also. But this has happened. It is because of the learners. Present learners, they will tomorrow become the alumni of this great university. Internationally, we are reaching continuously. Till now, we have reached 80,000 learners internationally. And every year, we are trying to reach around 5,000 learners. Why internationally we are being recognized? Because of you all, because of the goodwill which you all have created. By acquiring the degrees, diplomas, and certificates of IGNOU, you worked in the field and started giving good results. I am happy to share one more information that for which already Ashok Sharma ji has referred about Guyana. In that case, the country of Guyana, where the president himself was contesting his election, and in that election manifesto, he said that he is providing 20,000 scholarships. He will provide 20,000 scholarships for Guyana people to study in India, that too in IGNOU. Then he won the election, and then they came to us. So this is the goodwill which you all have created. This is the hard work which our people have done. Goodwill, brands, they all are always. Because if you see about the IITs, IIMs, what they say, they only talk about their alumni. We do have our own alumni. That is our biggest strength. And that is what we all have to project before the globe, before the whole world. I'm just seeing that within a short span of 6 months, our number has reached around 20,000. And right now, I'm also seeing that as you are listening to us, some of you are registering in the Alumni portal and they are being confirmed also immediately. So this quick process of joining to this family is because of the technology. I always seek your valuable support, your words of appreciation, your words of guidance, your words of feedback. They all will become a source of motivation to all of us. We will be inspired. We will be motivated because of your involvement in the affairs of this great university. I thank you all for your benign presence today, and hoping that you all will join us in our family meetings whenever we would like to interact with each other. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your valuable guidance. In fact, under your leadership, the university is reaching new heights, and we can assure you that this team of officials, teachers, functionaries, counselors, coordinators, learners, and alumni will all work together for the great cause for which IGNOU is the world leader, and we will definitely spread the light of education to every part of this country. Dr. Pandey, please continue with the program.
Thank you very much, sir. Especially our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for his learned discourse. And let me assure, on behalf of regional centers, not only of Delhi, but all across the country, and of course on behalf of all my colleagues here, that we'll try to provide the best possible support to the learners. And this support itself will convey to our alumni in terms of whatever they have received from us, from the university, and whatever best they could do for the entire university system, which spreads across not only the boundaries of the nation, but going across the boundaries of the nation. And they become our true spokesperson of the extended family, wherein they represent the entire university system, and they'll uphold the value system, the spirits of the university in such a manner that the university would be known all across the globe, all across the globe. So with these few words, sir, I once again thank you for your very learned discourse and the motivation which you have provided to us in continuing with this initiative. My thanks are also due to Dr. Mahapatra and Dr. Rupam for this major initiative. Now we start with the brief presentation of the alumni, those who are present here. Sir, I just would like to make a small information here that this number of 38, even though there were more than 150 students who were registered for this, and 2 days back we conducted one online meet, and we requested, because this Google Meet has the limitation of not admitting more than 100 students. And this was the number of 150 plus was from RC Delhi 3 alone. And equal number was there from Delhi 1 as well. So we have shortlisted few names. Those who have represented and those who talk to us. And others are watching this program live, which is going on through Facebook and YouTube as well. So this will be uploaded. And this number will try and ensure that each one of us, they share their experience and whatever journeys they have completed through IGNOU and what new achievements they have been able to achieve or accomplish in due course of time. So very briefly, I'll request all the alumni to make a brief presentation about themselves, the programs they have completed, the year of completion, their present position, and briefly, very briefly, in about 2 to 3 minutes each, about their experiences of being an IGNOU learner and what best way they can promote the cause of the university system, not only within the bounds where they are working, but all across, whosoever comes in interaction with them or who comes over to them. Thank you all. So may I now request, I start with Mr. Ajay Suri, who is presently Lieutenant General in Indian Army. So Ajay Suri ji, if he's there.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, please?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, senior educationists, and the alumni who are present today. As my name was brought out, I am Lieutenant General Ajay Suri from the Indian Army. And presently, I am Director General of Army Aviation, that is for the whole Indian Army. And I did my MBA from IGNOU I completed it in 2019. I started in 2016 mid. I took about 2.5 years to finish it. And that time I was a brigadier. Thereafter, of course, I was posted in Pune when I started, but moved on to Delhi where I completed my MBA. So that is as far as, even prior to that in 2005, I had done a small, certificate program in disaster management from IGNOU. And that is the time I realized the worth of, distance programs and the distance learning as far as education is concerned. So it was in my mind, and then that is how I started doing MBA. The program as such, I found it to be very, very useful. And I've done MPhil also, not once, but twice, in defense and management studies once, and in international relations second time, once from Ahilya Devi University and once from Madras University. And having attended these two universities and the program from IGNOU, I can with guarantee say that this is a very, very fine program. And the university has gone, really beyond a lot of normal issues to ensure that the students learn well and they do well. And especially I would, the way the question papers and the exams are set, it actually relates to practical knowledge, and it relates to, your experience on ground, and not the kind of bookish questions and bookish answers that are expected, so which is a very positive thing. The only thing which I would, make a recommendation is some of the study material perhaps needs revision, because over a period of time, what has happened is the study material is still, outdated, and it is about 20 years old vintage. So perhaps if we could, revive that, it will give a better, learning value to the students, especially the younger lot. Like at our age, when you're doing it, we have a lot of ground experience. We worked in various establishments. But perhaps a young student who's, just out of his graduation and getting onto this, he may find it to be more useful. That's all. And at the end, I would like to thank all the people who've been involved in, getting IGNOU to this level, especially special thanks to the Vice Chancellor as well as the regional directors. And thank you very much. Good evening, sir.
Thank you.
General Suri, thank you very much for your intervention and your presence in this platform. I would just like to inform you that from this year, our MBA program has been entirely revised. It has been restructured, it has been revised, and the eligibility criteria for MBA has also been modified as per the AICTE guidelines. And just for your information, that the material for MBA has been completely revised.
Thank you very much, sir. That's why since I finished in 19,
Yeah.
My information was outdated. Thank you very much, sir. That's
Thank
very
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's now a 2-year program. Earlier it was 2.5
2.5
years.
years,
Now
correct,
it's a
sir.
2-year program as
Okay.
per AICT guidelines.
Okay. That's a welcome change.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. May I now request Amarpreet Goel, please.
Good evening to the Honorable Vice Chancellor and all the senior delegates over here. I have completed my political science from IGNO, and I enrolled in the session 2015 and it completed in 2017. So it was a wonderful experience so far, because as Mr. Suri said, that the distance education is worth for all the ones who are already in the service. So I'm into teaching profession, so it was a plus point that I can enhance my education through a distance, where I would want that I should be going for the regular one. But IGNU was the only university which is flexible and it can provide you all the study material and everything. But a little challenge in during that year even I faced is with the study material only. Rest, it was all commendable. You all are doing a wonderful job and giving the platform to all the people who wants to pursue with the distance education. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. May I now request Ankit Kumar Mishra? Ankit Mishra, please. Anvit Vyas.
Hello to everyone, all the senior delegates, the Vice Chancellor. Good evening. There's one specific thing that I loved about IGNO in my career progression is that I completed my MBA in marketing from IGNO from 3 regions. So that really tells me that, IGNO is such a unified platform in the sense that initially I started from Jammu and Kashmir. Then I was posted in a place in Rajasthan, in a rural area in Rajasthan. I was doing my branch managership there. And then finally, I completed my MBA in marketing from Delhi. So distance learning, the power of distance learning, as the Honorable Vice Chancellor also mentioned, that it's not how you learn. It's about what you learn, the quality of your learning. So I am proud of IGNO that it provides a unified platform to people like us also, who are working professionals. I am a banker. I'm specifically working with SBI. I'm in a senior management grade scale there. And we have a very tight schedule. We have a very tight working schedule. And in that, the accommodative stance of IGNO to allow working professionals to complete the MBA marketing in a very unified manner, in an ease. So I'm really thankful to IGNO, and I would definitely spread the word about IGNO's distance learning program, specifically the management program. It is an excellent architecture. Only that, like Mr. Suri mentioned, that the material might have to undergo a bit of a change, which one of the senior faculty members just mentioned, that the material is undergoing a change. And I see that that's a great step from IGNO itself. So thank you everyone for inviting me here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. As was pointed out by Dr. Mahapatra earlier, IGNO has started altogether thoroughly revised new MBA program, which is of 2 years of duration, and the entire course curriculum has been refurbished and redesigned. So obviously that calls for thorough revision and its content as well as the presentation part of it. So it is all there. So I really feel honored in conveying this, that now it has been made open to all, and with latest updates. Wherever there are still some shortcomings or gaps, we'll surely try to improve upon them. Thank you for your feedback, Ankit. Thank you. Thank you so much. May I now request Dr. Vijayta Banwari.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone for organizing these alumni meets. It really makes us connected to the university, and we feel great to be part of it. My journey with IGNU, my association with IGNU goes back to 2005 when I enrolled for Masters in Economics, MA Economics program. I have done MA Economics, MPhil, PhD from IGNU in Economics. And very recently, I have also completed postgraduate diploma in distance education through RC Delhi 1. I was a gold medalist there. And regarding my experience, I just want to mention that over the 16 years, one important change that I have experienced is perception of people towards students from distance education. Earlier, I used to, feel the bias of people towards people who have completed their studies from distance education. But the quality of the material is so good that it has helped us to prove people wrong all the time. I was able to qualify my net in economics in my first attempt only with the help of the course material that IGNU provided me. So that says a lot. When my friends from Delhi School of Economics were not able to qualify net, I could do that with just IGNU material. In PGDD, while I was pursuing, one important thing that I want to mention was that the assignments that I submitted, the feedback on those assignments was so specific and so particular that it helped me in writing my papers better and get a gold medal in that. So, which is also a very important thing in distance education. If we can get feedback, it helps us to cover up that limitation, that the distance between teacher and learner. So I'm really happy that we as alumni are part of IGNU. We are connected to IGNU, and I hope that this continues. This association, these meetings continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vijeta. First of all, congratulations for your gold medal. And then I would like to say that with your help, with the help of our alumni, we can completely demolish this stereotype, this myth about distance education. The resistance is already weakening. The world is beginning to realize the importance and value of it and the contribution that it can make in creating a learning society. But yes, with your help, we can completely demolish it. Thank you very much.
So may I just add to what Dr. Vijeta said, and it's very heartening to hear that her feedback on the PGDD process, like the continuous evaluation, was as we all expected to be, and she has benefited from that. That is really very heartening to hear. Thank you, Dr. Vijeta, for that feedback.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful feedback. And of course, it will help us to further strengthen the existing mechanism and to improve upon it, because we are continuously striving to do better in whatever way we could, and we'll surely try to do it. The alumni now who will be coming up will surely be more benefited, and the kind of the experiences which you have had will help them to enrich in a better way. Thank you so much. May I now request Nishi Arora, please? Nishi Arora, if she's there.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, first of all, respected Vice Chancellor, sir, and all the other delegates, senior delegates present here. I am very, very delighted and feeling honored as you people have called me. I am Associate Professor with Delhi University in Ayurveda. And I did my master's in counseling and family therapy. I joined IGNU in 2011, and I could complete it in 2015, as there was full-time job I was having in a hospital and all. So I completed it within 4 years, and I must say that I have learned a lot, because the study material was very, very nice. It was designed in such a manner that I couldn't find any difficulty to understand psychology, despite the fact that I was from Ayurveda background. So I got best of mentors and best of my guide in this Masters in Counseling, and I got full-fledged support from the university side and at all levels, at regional center level or at IGNOU level. So, and the program coordinators were so nice that they used to solve all problems even on emails when we are getting stuck, what to do, what not to do. They solve our problems, and I am very grateful for that, for this university. And I could learn counseling from here, and I used it in diabetes screening and counseling, which was the DEEM project from Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Sheila Dikshit, Madam Sheila Dikshit, and she, our college was at the first place, topped out of 6 Delhi administration run colleges for counseling in diabetes and screening and counseling. So diabetic screening and counseling, I could do it because I was the in charge at that time for that OPD. And I must say that it could happen because of it only, because I could learn so much, not only for diabetes, but for all other chronic diseases also. And on the basis of this, I am presently working as academic counselor for IGNOU also. And I have used this counseling in my profession, and now in this pandemic time, I must say that I have counseled over 1,000 patients for this, and I could do it very confidently, and my success rate is almost 90% in that, and that is all because of this university and because of the program they have given, they have provided to us. Just a single thing I want to share, that during this pandemic and all, and otherwise also, the counselors, means when there is a counselor, academic counselor or mentor who guides the student for counseling, and then that student comes for to a particular study center and connects, approaches her or his academic counselor. So this the whole process becomes somewhere becomes very complicated. Sometimes the student cannot approach the counselor as the counselor is also busy with other responsibilities, and sometimes the student cannot finish it as they want some more support from the counselor. But that is between counselor and the student. But the means the problem lies with the complication arises from study center and regional center. Many a times I have seen that study centers are not being able to coordinate that much with the regional center, and the students face so much of problems. During pandemic, I have faced this, and but at personal level, I always help my students, or help the my students means help the students of IGNOU. Okay, they can come to me. I don't care for the कि कौन पेमेंट करेगा कौन नहीं करेगा, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि स्टूडेंट इज सो वेरी इन अ क्रक्स की अब मैं क्या करूं, क्योंकि रीजनल सेंटर से और स्टडी सेंटर के बीच में जो कोऑर्डिनेशन है वहाँ थोड़ा सा लैप्सेस हैं. तो इट्स माय रिक्वेस्ट दैट प्लीज do the needful, because students become very unhappy and then they say कि ये कैसा course है, and then I have to tell them that course is very good, and there is sometimes there is some these kinds of problems are there. So kindly we see this into this matter, because for the students, because I have enrolled so many of my students to IGNOU for distant learning program. When they could see my success, I told them कि it is because of IGNOU, so you should also join. So thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable feedback. This coordination constraint and problems, that has become all the more acute, particularly during the pandemic time, and when most of the activities they became online. And many of the teachers, particularly in the conventional system, they were not used to it. And it so happened that the kind of the coordination which was required was not forthcoming. And they were also hard pressed with their own responsibilities. But let me assure once again to you as a teacher, as a student, and also to our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director RSD, that all of us at the regional centers will try to ensure that more effective coordination takes place between the teacher of the study center, the academic counselor of the study center, and the regional center. And wherever the gaps are, we'll surely try to improve upon it so that the students, they don't have to suffer on account of the
Yes,
lack
sir.
of coordination.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
That's the only point, sir. Otherwise,
you.
it is okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May I now request Nishit Sarkar, please? Nishit Sarkar.
Nishit, incidentally, is also, he's an alumnus of RC Delhi 1 and also the joint secretary of the Alumni Association of India, which is a registered association. So welcome on board, Nishit.
Thank you, sir.
Please share your experience.
Yeah.
Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Mahapatra, sir, RC Director, sir, and Rupam, sir. I have attended other meetings also, but this meeting is very special for me because there are the person I'm seeing on my screen जिनसे मैंने सीखा था. I remember Director sir of our RD who guided us when we have developed our project for final project in our MCA project. So I have worked under your guidance also when Rupam sir was there, and I didn't get more chance to interact with Mahapatra sir, but I would like to come to him to describe myself also. So I don't have much to say about myself. I am just here to help our university in any manner if I can help. Means I am also following all the protocols. I have just completed my registration form, given my all details, and if I get any chance to help any of my friend or student, I would love to help. Lastly, for 4 years, I was working as an academic counselor in our study center, 0742D, New Horizon. But I don't know right now it is operational or not. So I would like to come to RC and meet any authority for my further help in the university.
The program which you completed, you did not mention about it.
Sorry, I have completed my whole career here, BC and MCA both from IGNOU.
Okay.
And I got placed due to the projects that Sir you and Rupam sir helped me in my MCA final. And that's why right now I'm an assistant manager in an Indian organization. It's not an MNC. So my my VP, when they saw my enthusiasm, they actually wanted to hire students from IGNOU, because they said, okay, if the guys from IGNOU has so much talent, so why not hiring from them? So I'm ready, and I'm actively looking for any of my colleagues. I have given 2 of my students from while I was working in New Horizon. So I have employed my 2 of students in my organization, and right now they are in some MNCs. So I am doing in my level whatever I can do, but I have joined this organization for this purpose only, that I can help in a greater platform. So that means any manner, if you can use me, so that I can help for this university.
Thank you
sir.
for your
Thank you, sir.
very encouraging response.
Thank you, Nishit. Nishit, incidentally, has helped us a lot in the process of registering the association.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
May I now request Pooja Chetri? Correct
Thank
me.
you, sir. It's called Chetri. Pronounce it like
Please.
that. So I'm really glad to join today this really good meeting, and I'm really amazed that IGNOU is taking such steps. Because in the open learning platform, when we enroll and complete our degrees, we usually feel that we are disconnected, and there is no single platform wherein we can like regular university conducts a program for the students. So I'm very happy today about my journey at IGNOU. I started my program masters in public administration in 2016 with IGNOU. I'm a company secretary by training. So I was already a member at Company Secretary Institute, and I was working as a CS with different organizations at that time. So it was third year of my career when I got a chance to work with Ministry of Corporate Affairs, wherein I saw a lot of things related to bureaucracy, the governance. So the particular field really inspired me to deviate my career towards that. So IGNOU was a platform I was looking for, and it provided me with a very good program, which has really helped me to take my career to a new dimension. Now I'm working with the public policy domain since last 4 years. And while I started the program, I've worked with very good organizations like Tata Motors, Vedanta Resources, and right now I'm with the US MNC Honeywell. So I would like to say that IGNU and the quality of this course, whatever programs IGNU has been coming up, has been been recognized at a very good level. Even the MNCs are recruiting people from the IGNU courses because of the diversity and the the particular technicalities of the programs IGNU is maintaining. So I'm really glad that I'm here, and I would like to request that for the working professionals, we can promote various programs of the IGNU, wherein people are not able to take up the courses they want to enhance their careers in the future. So I'll be very happy to help in that case if any interaction or any specific kind of program is being planned or being designed at IGNU. So I will be very happy to offer my help and be connected, of course.
Thank you, Pooja. And it's really very heartening to see that a professional, just to understand the nitty-gritties of the administrative system, enrolled for
Yes.
this Masters in Public Administration and has really understood well, and is also more than willing to help and help our future learners.
No, Pooja Chatri, let me tell you that people like you can really do lots for the university, because majority of our students, they need career counseling. Majority of the students, they need little bit of training in soft skills, communication skills, life skills. So people like you can provide them better guidance and counseling. So definitely I request Dr. BP Rupam and Dr. Sanjeev Pandey and Dr. Ashok Sharma to tap these huge resources that are available before us today. So we can utilize her services, and maybe she can come to our studio in Electronic Media Production Center, where I am the director, to have some good videos for the prospective learners and the students who are aspiring for good counseling and good job.
Sure, sir, definitely. If we, help the students in, sometimes students are not able to get ready with a very good resume or the presentation skills or interview skills. That really helps in order to get a job in such, corporates or good organizations. So that will be a very good help towards our students who can really, they need that particular, help. I feel, which sometimes the university may not be able to facilitate. And
I invite you to the Electronic Media Production Center of IGNO.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. I'll be
Thank
happy
you.
to join.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have registered on the portal, so I'm sending you an invite right away.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Really.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. This encouragement will surely go a long way in further encouraging and motivating our alumni to promote the system as a whole, and also to encourage our current and prospective learners to get associated with IGNU. Thank you. Thank you. May I now request Poonam Ahuja, please. Poonam Ahuja, if she's still there. Ramanuj.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Nageshwar Rao, sir, and all the faculty members and officials who are present here. I'm really glad that I've been invited for this, and I'm getting a chance to share my views out of all the 71 lakh members of the IGNU family, and very few get this chance. With IGNU, it was a wonderful experience. Okay, let me start with my introduction. So, sir, सबसे बड़ा introduction तो आज मेरे लिए बहुत important event था, and that's why I'm very grateful कि आज का event जो है उसमें IGNU का बहुत बड़ा role है. Event ये था that I did live commentary from Rajghat on this Sarvdhan Prarthana Sabha and Shahid Divas in the presence of President, Honorable Prime Minister, and all the dignitaries and all the Senadhyaksh and everybody. And it was broadcasted live on all the stations of All India Radio, Akashvani. So I'm really indebted and grateful to IGNU, because I could do it well because I did this PG GMC program from IGNOU, and it has really helped me a lot in improving myself and getting this platform for today. So I'm really indebted, sir. I'm really thankful. I have so many things to say, but एक्चुअली क्या होता है, जब हम बोलने लगते हैं तो बहुत सारी चीजें भूल जाते हैं. और जनरली हमारी बातें कैसी होती हैं, आई एम अ रेडियो जॉकी सर, तो मुझे आदत उसी तरह से बात करने की है. कि मौसमों की बातों तक गुफ्तगू रही अपनी, मौसमों की बातों तक गुफ्तगू रही अपनी, मैंने कब सुनी तुमने कब कही अपनी. तो बहुत सारी बातें मुझे करनी है, बताना है कि कैसे हम लोग कैसा फील करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स जब यहाँ पर आते हैं. और मेरा ये फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस था जब मैंने पीजी डिप्लोमा किया जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन में. सर मैंने 92% स्कोर किया, 92.17, और मेरा हाईएस्ट स्कोर था. मैं फर्स्ट आई हूँ जून 2020 सेशन में, और गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हो सकती थी अगर वो डिप्लोमा कोर्स नहीं होता. तो ये एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट है कि जो डिप्लोमा स्टूडेंट्स करते हैं उनको भी आप गोल्ड मेडल प्लीज प्रोवाइड किया कीजिए, थोड़ा सा एनकरेजमेंट मिलता है. और इससे पहले सर मेरी जो एजुकेशन थी, मैंने दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से ज्यादातर पढ़ाई की है, और सीएस किया है मैंने, मैं एफसीएस हूँ. इसके अलावा मैंने एलएलबी में भी टॉप किया था दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से ही. मैंने पीएचडी किया है कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस में, लेकिन मैंने इग्नू से नहीं किया ये सब. इग्नू से मेरा ये फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस था, और करने के बाद ट्रस्ट में सर मुझे ऐसा लगा कि शायद मुझे बहुत पहले इग्नू के साथ एनरोल हो जाना चाहिए था, क्योंकि जो बुक्स थी, जो कोर्स कंटेंट हमें मिला, आप यकीन नहीं करेंगे कि मैं क्योंकि मैं वर्किंग भी हूँ और मैं रेडियो भी करती हूँ, तो मुझे बहुत ज्यादा टाइम नहीं मिलता है पढ़ने का सर. और मेरे जो मतलब और भी फैमिली कमिटमेंट्स बहुत सारी हैं, और उसमें इग्नू का जो मटेरियल है वो इतना हेल्प करता है प्रैक्टिकली. मतलब आप उसका अगर मतलब आप बुक खोलते हैं, आप फर्स्ट चैप्टर ओपन करते हैं, तो उसमें फर्स्ट पेज पे आपको सारी की सारी समरी मिल जाती है. तो एक नोट्स बनाने की जो मेरी हैबिट थी, मुझे नोट्स नहीं बनाने पड़े, क्योंकि सारा का सारा मटेरियल इतना वेल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, इतनी अच्छी तरह से वेल लिटेड है कि आप सिर्फ उसे पढ़ते रहेंगे तो फिर मतलब आप तो नहीं पढ़ेंगे, आपने तो बनाया है, लेकिन हम जब उसको पढ़ते हैं तो हमें बहुत इजी हो जाता है पढ़ना. आपने उसे 2 बार पढ़ा, 3 बार पढ़ा, तो अब ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो आप कहना चाह रहे हैं वो ऑलरेडी इसमें दिया हुआ है. और रेडियो के बारे में मुझे जो नॉलेज मिली, बिकॉज रेडियो मैं कॉलेज से करती आ रही थी, एज सीएस तो मैं हुई, लेकिन रेडियो मुझे बहुत पसंद है, तो वीकेंड्स पे करती हूँ. और उसके बाद मैंने यूट्यूब चैनल अपना शुरू किया. तो वो जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस था कि मैं इतने सालों से प्रैक्टिकली सब कुछ कर रही थी, एज ब्रॉडकास्टर मैं जा रही थी, मैं लोगों से इंटरेक्ट कर रही थी, मैं अपने शोज कंडक्ट कर रही थी, लेकिन उसकी थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज मुझे बिल्कुल भी नहीं थी, जो मुझे इग्नू से मिली. और इतनी अच्छी तरह से मिली कि एक्चुअली रियलाइज हुआ कि जो हम कर रहे हैं रेडियो में, वो कितनी बड़ी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, कितनी बड़ी एक उसमें कितने एथिक्स इन्वॉल्व हैं, कितना ज्यादा हमें कॉशियस होना चाहिए. कितने लोग हमें सुन रहे हैं, एक पान वाला सुन रहा है, तो कोई पॉलिटिशियन भी सुन रहे हैं, कोई एक ऑटो में भी सुन रहे हैं, कोई गृहिणी भी सुन रही हैं. तो सब लोग, इतने वैरायटी ऑफ ऑडियंस लिसनर्स हैं हमारे पास में. वो लिसनर्स कैसा फील करते होंगे, या उन्हें क्या चाहिए रेडियो से. तो वो सारी नॉलेज सर एक एक चैप्टर से मुझे बहुत अच्छी तरह से मिलती गई. और उससे पहले क्या, एक बहुत अच्छा हमारे यहाँ हम जोक ऐसे बोलते थे कि रेडियो और प्रिंट मीडिया में क्या डिफरेंस है, कि रेडियो जो है उसे आप सुन सकते हो, लेकिन जो अखबार है उसमें आप पराठे लपेट सकते हो. तो ऐसा एक ये हमारा, हम ऐसा सोचते थे, लेकिन एक्चुअली कितना डिफरेंस है प्रिंट मीडिया में या सोशल मीडिया में या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में और रेडियो में या टीवी में. और उसके थ्रू हम मास कम्युनिकेशन कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि सर मास कम्युनिकेशन मीन्स अ बिग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, कि आप इतने लोगों को एड्रेस कर रहे हैं और आपकी बातों से उनकी लाइफ में कोई ना कोई चेंजेस आ रहे हैं. कुछ पॉजिटिव भी होंगे, कुछ नेगेटिव भी होंगे, लेकिन जब हम ऐसा रेडियो पे बोल रहे हैं तो उससे कितने लोगों को हम ऐसे इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं कि वो अपनी लाइफ में और कुछ बेहतर कर सके. तो वो जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी उसको मैं और अच्छी तरह से निभा पा रही हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने ये ऑप्ट किया जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन. और मुझे ऐसा लगा कि अब उसके बाद मैंने अपने बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स को एनरोल भी करा दिया सर इसी कोर्स में, कि ये इतना जबरदस्त कोर्स है कि आप सबको करना चाहिए, जो भी रेडियो में मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं. अब वो मुझे इंसिस्ट करें कि आप इसमें एमए में एनरोल कर लो ताकि हमारी पढ़ाई इजी हो जाए. तो मैं बहुत बहुत खुश हूँ सर। आई एम रियली ग्लैड एंड आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू यू फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग दिस सपोर्ट। और जो एक बहुत अच्छी बात है वो ये कि बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं ऐसे एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करती हैं, लेकिन इग्नू की सबसे अच्छी बात जो मुझे लगती है वो ये कि इतने सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो रूरल एरियाज में रहते हैं सर, जिनके पास कोई फैसिलिटीज नहीं है, उन तक पहुंचना, मतलब इससे ज्यादा सोसाइटी को कंट्रीब्यूट करने का काम आई थिंक कोई यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं कर सकती। और जैसे लॉकडाउन था जब मैंने किया, तो मेरे पास इतने अच्छे लेक्चर्स अवेलेबल थे, क्योंकि आप जो मटेरियल और जो फैकल्टीज हैं वो अपने लेक्चर्स डालते हैं। अमेजिंग लेक्चर्स है, आई मस्ट से कि इतने अच्छे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं, इतने अच्छे से ट्रीट करते हैं हम लोगों को। हम पर्सनल अगर एक मेल करते हैं तो इमीडिएटली रिप्लाई आ जाता है। या जो जैसे RC1 के साथ में एसोसिएटेड थे, वहाँ जो हमारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स आते थे, स्टडी सेंटर्स में आते थे, या जो सपोर्ट सिस्टम हमें मिलता था, जो ऑफिशियल्स हैं, जो स्टाफ हैं, उनसे वो कभी कोई नेगेटिव फीडबैक वाली कभी बात नहीं हुई। हमेशा जैसा जिससे जो सपोर्ट हो सकता है दे प्रोवाइड। तो ये जो सारी चीजें हैं वो एक ऐसा कनेक्ट डेवलप कर देती हैं जो शायद जब हम वहां से अलग भी हो जाते हैं, हम अब नहीं भी पढ़ रहे हैं, तो भी वो जो कनेक्ट है वो बहुत एक स्ट्रांग बॉन्डिंग देता है। और आप ये फील करते हैं कि आपने तो ये किया, आपको बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ, तो ये एक्सपीरियंस आपके और जो फ्रेंड सर्कल है या जो लोग आपको जानते हैं उनको रिकमेंड आप करें। तो वो रिकमेंडेशन जो है वो तभी आती है जब ऐसा मिले। और ये जो आपका एक एफर्ट है अभी, जैसे कि आपने ये बहुत अच्छा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है इंटरेक्ट करने की, आप तक पहुंचने की। अदरवाइज हम स्टूडेंट्स कहाँ पहुंच सकते हैं आप तक, कितना मुश्किल है उसे पहुंचना। तो वो डिजिटाइज करके या जिस भी तरीके से कर रहे हैं, वो एक बहुत ही सराहनीय मैं कहूंगी कि प्रयास है। और इससे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स बेनिफिट होंगे, बहुत लोगों को इससे इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी इग्नू के साथ जुड़ने की। और मुझे अगर जुड़ने के लिए कहा जाए इग्नू के साथ, जो मैं चाहती भी हूँ, तो अगर कोई एंकरिंग का प्रोग्राम होता है या फिर कोई सेशंस कंडक्ट करने हैं, तो वो सब में मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा कि अगर मैं ऐसा कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाऊँ। सो आई विल बी रियली ग्लैड सर फॉर दिस। सो थैंक यू सो मच। आई वोंट टेक मच टाइम बिकॉज रेडियो जॉकीज को आदत होती है बोलना शुरू करते हैं तो बंद नहीं करते हैं। थैंक यू सर।
नो पूनम मैडम, थैंक यू फॉर दिस वंडरफुल फीडबैक। आप जरूर हमारे साथ जुड़िए, क्योंकि यहाँ तो अक्सर प्रोग्राम होते रहता है, और हमारे जो ज्ञानवाणी के स्टूडियो है, और जिसमें हम लगभग 12 घंटा हर दिन कंटेंट देते हैं, उसमें भी आप कुछ आके दे सकते हैं। हमारे जो यंग जनरेशन ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स है, लर्नर्स हैं, या सोसाइटी एट लार्ज है, उनको कुछ दे सकते हैं, बिकॉज यू आर ए प्रोफेशनल प्रेजेंटर थ्रू द रेडियो, सो यू आर ऑल्सो इनवाइटेड।
जी सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
पूनम जी, एक फायदे की बात आपको बताता हूँ। आपने PG डिप्लोमा इन जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन कर लिया है। हमारे यहाँ अभी MA इन जर्नलिज्म मास कम्युनिकेशन है, और यदि आपने फर्स्ट ईयर मतलब PG डिप्लोमा कंप्लीट कर लिया है और आपको सर्टिफिकेट अवार्ड हो गया है, तो आप लेटरल एंट्री के थ्रू 1 साल में MA भी कंप्लीट कर सकती हैं।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल कर सकती हूँ। और मैं जो जिनको मैंने एनरोल करवाया है वो कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद वो मुझे इंसिस्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप साथ में
मौका आज है, कल लास्ट डेट है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर। अच्छा श्योर सर,
वेरी राइटली सेड। तो आप
और इस
एलुमनाई
मीट का जिक्र आप अपने प्रोग्राम्स में कर सकती हैं।
जी सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। मतलब मुझे बहुत खुशी होगी कि इसका जिक्र मैं करूं और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स एनरोल कर पाए। लोग डरते हैं ऑनलाइन कोर्स या फिर डिस्टेंट एजुकेशन में सर, कि शायद उन्हें ठीक से समझ में नहीं आएगा या उन्हें कहाँ से गाइडेंस मिलेगी। लेकिन मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि इतनी अच्छी गाइडेंस हमें मिलती है कि हम, जैसे हमारी विश लिस्ट होती है लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ कि हमें ये करना था, हम कर नहीं पाए, और एक लेटर स्टेज पे जाके हमें लगता है कि शायद इसका मौका हमें मिलता है, लेकिन इग्नू हमें वो लाइफ के किसी भी स्टेज में दे देता है। तो कहाँ मैं रेडियो से कॉलेज के टाइम में जुड़ी थी, और तब मुझे करना था जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन, लेकिन CS और लॉ ये सब करते करते मैं नहीं कर पाई। लेकिन अब जाके और मुझे ये मौका मिला, और मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई कि मैं इसको इस वजह से अचीव कर पाई क्योंकि इग्नू मेरे साथ था।
हमें पूरा विश्वास है पूनम जी कि आप इसको और प्रोपगेट करेंगे, और जिस माध्यम में हैं आप, जिससे जुड़ी हुई हैं, उससे ज्यादा सशक्त माध्यम कोई और नहीं होगा हमारे लिए और आगे आने वाले छात्रों के लिए। 31 जनवरी जैसा हमारे कलीग डॉक्टर रूपम ने कहा, 31 जनवरी लास्ट डेट है। ये जरूर आपको मौका मिले तो अनाउंस करिएगा, and let them go online. कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, सारी प्रक्रिया ऑनलाइन हो गई है. Thank you very much for your very encouraging feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
May I now request Ramanuj Banerjee, please?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everybody. So, respected Vice Chancellor, sir, other senior directors, dignitaries, my dear colleagues, alumni, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, it's a very, very, proud moment for all of us, those who are joining here today as a student. It is very nostalgic also. That's why it's very special because of our position, we are joining in different platforms. But as a student joining, because we have a wisdom to get opportunity of your affection, or all of our teachers' affection, that's a very great thing for all of us. So that's why it's very special today for me. And it was also very special when I joined IGNOU during the year of 2015, after a long year completing my professional degree, doctorate, everything. So basically, I am working right now as a scientist staff. It's a director level in Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. And also, I am the national focal point for United Nations Asia Pacific Center for Technology Transfer. I am representing Government of India in APCTT for Science and Technology. So it's a very, 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 responsible post. And I did MBA. I completed my MBA on Operation Management during the year of 2017 from IGNOU. And that during the course of my MBA, I have also completed, because the course curriculum has been designed in such a way, that's a wonderful way, that also I have completed some other programs like other certificate or PG diploma like DIM, PGDOM, and PGDIM. This is a wonderful, designing of the course. So if anybody cannot continue, at least he will get some degree and he may go. So that's a wonderful thing. And coming to the experience sharing, I'm coming to the points what actually asked for. So sharing of experience, basically, if I, because of my professional position, I'm also involved in some of the B school, some of the national institute in the position of adjunct professor. And I am also teaching in different IITs for a couple of years. So I have seen that in educational system, and I'm also in different formulation of different schemes of Ministry of our Science and Technology, as well as Ministry of Education. So I have seen that, knowledge comes to the success if it is applied properly. So whatever knowledge we are gaining from the MBA, during MBA from IGNOU, that is coming from the course material. To be very honestly speaking, I have completed my MBA during 2017. And the course material, I don't know how it is right now, but that course material was appreciated by some of my students from IIT, who is now in Stanford MBA program. So it is a so holistic, so comprehensive course material of IGNOU. It was very, very wonderful. Now coming to the application side, when it actually makes the process to come out of a success. See, in application, actually, there are 3-4 stakeholders involved in the IGNOU process flow. If I talk about the stakeholders, number 1 is the teacher, number 2 is the this study center, number 3 is the regional center, as well as IGNOU as a whole. So in this application process, I have seen all the teachers hired by IGNOU in the study center are highly experienced and having high expertise. So experience, whatever I have gained from them, it's a very, very wonderful and unique. Why? Because they are coming with, their idea with complete case study, which is very essential for MBA program at least. Case study, real life example. So it makes an immense difference from other institute regular program of the management. And that teacher with high experience and high expertise, they use their wisdom to teach us in such a way that it was absolutely wonderful in this system. Now, coming to the feedback is concerned. Feedback is also, I don't know, it should be also a lot of components, starting from teacher, again regional center, again, I can say that study center, IGNOU, process, system, as well as our professional application. If I jot down with some sort of parameters, so I believe that IGNOU's MBS program is not only one type of people, one type of students. There's a varied type of students. So like me, if I take me as an example, I came here from the Government of India service. I was having huge number of, I can say that distraction in my mind because of my work pressure.
Mr. Ravi Joseph, can you please mute yourself? Please mute yourself, Mr. Ravi Joseph. Yeah.
So because of my work pressure, because of my family pressure, all these things were there. So what the teachers' important goal, important criteria of IGNOU type of course study, there is a requirement of stimulation of interest of a student. It's very, very vital. Then interpersonal skill, because there is a need of self-respect, because many students are coming, you see that some director general is also a student, some professionals are also a student. So there is a requirement of good interpersonal skill. And minimizing distraction and maximizing focus, which actually makes massive change in my life and in my professional career also from IGNOU. Coming to the clarity of knowledge and, clarity on discussion between students and teachers. That is also wonderful because all the teachers which is being selected by the IGNOU is having high degree of experience. Now coming to the process, if I talk about the workload, quality of test, timely feedback, and friendliness for all stakeholders, this is extremely wonderful. Some of my students, some of my friends who are in corporate sector, those who have got MBA from national institutes, they are also taking this course material and this study material from me to read because it is a very, very comprehensive. And the style of test and quality feedback is also very much important. Now, if I talk about the application is in my professional area, in this feedback system, see, I am involved in different government schemes, formulation of schemes, review, monitoring of the schemes, good governance systems. In the whole system, there is a requirement of, PERT technique, program evaluation and monitoring technique. Honestly speaking, I have articulated this from the MBA program of the IGNOU. And it is written in one of the course material of the IGNOU, what is PERT technique, which is making the immense changes in the whole government systems right now. Now coming to the suggestion and help. So there are also, of course, if I give my feedback in respect of the whole system and also course curriculum and all the stakeholders of the IGNOU, there are definitely 90%, 80%, there are the positive views. But if we also, I believe that I will take the opportunity to give some sort of, idea about the weakness also. If I talk about the weakness, I believe that all of you are aware that in the national institutes, school management schools of this country and also in abroad, there is a student feedback mechanism during completion of the course itself. The student will not get degree if will not submit the feedback. So that actually makes a huge change, which I believe it is not in that system of the IGNOU. It may be my suggestion. Collaboration with some other management schools in respect of project. In MBA, I did also a small project at the end of my MBA program. So it will be very good if there is a scope of collaboration with some B school, with some IITs, and they are also ready to do that. I have a lot of information on that aspects. I believe that there is a requirement of field visit to the industry B schools as well as, honestly speaking, to IGNOU main campus also. Because if I feel that I am a student of IGNOU campus, there is no such system in the course curriculum that I have to visit IGNOU campus and making some, system of my MBA school, MBA departments. So उसमें ना थोड़ा सा अपनापन आ जाता है. So it is my university. Sharing experiences by successful alumni is very, very important, which you are doing today. It may happen during my course curriculum also. If I feel that some of my colleagues who have passed or completion of his MBA from here, he's speaking with us, he's interacting, it makes some. And also, more IT infrastructure at study center is required. Although the teachers are very good to use chalk and board, but there is a requirement of more IT infrastructure. If some institute, if it is not there, of course, in respect of health, I am always ready to volunteer to share my national and international experience through some motivational lectures during faculty development program, during student orientation program, as well as any sorts of course curriculum. And also I may volunteer for any academic and scientific need. Of course, without your invitation, I did one motivational lecture in your main campus from some school. They invited me, and I was very happy to be part of that program in IGNOU main campus also. Thank you, sir, once again. With these things, I can tell you that IGNOU is basically convergence of a high performance team, which is not even in different systems in India right now. And I can tell you, starting with the wording of the Vice Chancellor said, one of my spiritual guru and IIT system says that, network of an university, network of an education system is basically, network is actually the networking. So networking makes immense change in the IIT system also, which is you have started. And I believe it will make a great net wealth for your university, for all of us also. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful feedback, Dr. Banerjee, and we're all overwhelmed, I must say, with the kind of the feedback which we get from a senior government functionary. And just as our Honorable Vice Chancellor had mentioned and our Director RSD had mentioned, that we are overwhelmed by the enthusiastic response and support of our alumni. And
so you have taken a class and giving us an in-depth analysis of the system from outside. Thank you very much for all the feedback that you have given, Ramanujam Banerjee Shah.
Thank you, sir. I am always there with all of you. It will be my pleasure if you take me as your student only. That's all, sir.
No, excellent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. May I now request Ram Prasad Lal ji. Ram Prasad Lal.
Here.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I did my MBA Finance from IGNOU and completed in June 2019. I am a registered counselor also with the Dayal Singh College. So I have nothing more to say, but thank you all to inviting me for this program. It was wonderful. I completed in 2.5 years after my retirement from government service.
I see. Wonderful. That's really great. Great. And that again, fulfills the basic spirit of the university, that learning is a lifelong process, and at no point in time we could say that we have done enough. And I take this opportunity to share with all the alumni present here. Of course, we'll request one amongst the senior most alumni of the university system, at the age of 93, a gentleman from Noida Regional Center was awarded master's degree during the 33rd convocation function, which was held by us at Delhi 3, coordinated for all the regional centers.
Yes, sir. I was awarded there also. I was honored there in that program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ram.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ravi Joseph Lokuji.
Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, and all the senior faculty and administration of IGNOU and all the colleagues. It is a wonderful moment for me to be in this August gathering and to share my experiences which I went through while I was doing my master's in psychology in IGNOU. The journey was very wonderful. I did my MA sociology also from other university, very established university in distance learning mode. And after that, I did my MA psychology from IGNOU. As a police officer, I thought that one should be knowing the sociology and psychology part of the society, so that we can deal in our profession in a wonderful manner and meaningful manner. When I compare IGNO's program with the earlier distance learning program which I did, at first I felt the IGNO program was really challenging. Because why I'm saying this, the program which I did earlier was just like you have to just go and then give the exam and just get your marks. So it was just like a cakewalk. So I thought that IGNO would also be like that. Okay, I have to take 7 days off from my job. I was working at that time as Inspector General. Now I am Additional Director General of Police in Uttar Pradesh, working in Lucknow. So I thought that, okay, I have to just spare 7 days of my job time so that I can finish my PG program in IGNO. But uh, what I learned that IGNO program is like it engages you constantly. You can't just take 7 days off and then just get a degree. No, it is not like that. It is like a gestually chiseling a person from the a basic stage onwards. The way you interact when you go to the study center, it was an amazing experience that we people who are working with the 25 years of experience, interacting with the young student who enroll himself in a distant mode. We don't get this kind of experience elsewhere. In the colleges, we never get it. Here, I can really make myself available to the younger lot and interacting about the course material, and that itself is a very good, rich learning experience. I really thank IGNO for this. And then coming to the resource person, whomever, because there are so many resource persons and there would be various kinds of feedback about the resource persons. But as for me, the resource persons, whomever I have interacted with, they are quite encouraging and patiently they teach you. And I have seen that it is not that I was a bureaucrat, so that's what they were giving me extra attention. No, not at all. The equal attention was given to a young student also. And sometimes, you know, the people who enroll there lost the opportunity, or they might not have an opportunity to enroll themselves in a regular colleges. So they come with some low esteem, what I have seen. But the resource person, while tackling with them, he used to inculcate in them that, you know, you are not less mortal, less soul than those people. You are equally uh, empowered, and you are equally knowledgeable, and boost up their confidence and make them to understand the things and attend the practical classes. So the methodology of the IGNO, I found it wonderful. And the course material, I have seen and I listened to the feedback of different alumni people, that some people said that the course material was not up to the mark, and some people that the course material is excellent. But what my take on the course material is that what IGNO is doing is that the course material should sparkle you. It should sparkle you to go further into the study on your own. So in that manner, the course material of the IGNO was certainly has a capacity to ignite in you the desire to go for the reference books what you have, which have been given by the IGNO, so that we can go and read and enrich ourselves about the knowledge and understanding of the particular course. So the course material, I give 100% marks to the IGNO course material. And the ease of doing the things, the process of enrollment and the process of fee and other things, and the feedback system, and the way the alerts used to come on our mobiles, that what are the developments and everything, that was also very good in IGNO. And another thing I just want to mention about is that the assignments. In assignments, I thought that, okay, I'll get it typed by somebody else, my assignments. But they said that, you know, you have to write with your own handwriting. I really appreciate IGNO, and I'm thankful to that you made person to really work. I wrote the assignments with my own handwriting, which I never realized that it would be really imprinting in mind the entire thing, and it would be very easy for me to reproduce the same in the final exam, without knowing that while I'm doing my assignments, half of my learning process has been completed. So thank you very much for this kind of arrangement. And regarding the practical exams also, and regarding thesis, what I was writing. I can say that all the contributions of the IGNOU staff and the study center and the regional center was very conducive, and they were all encouraging, and it was a wonderful journey. And when I did this MA psychology in counseling, now I feel that I am empowered. I'm empowered to deal my day-to-day job in this kind of background which I got from the IGNOU. So I'm thankful, and I always propagate to my colleagues in police that you should do your course. If you are sincere, you should do your course from IGNOU so that you'll get a wonderful experience. Thank you very much for giving me the platform to share my experiences, and I am thankful to everybody here. Okay.
Thank you, Ravi. Joseph, you have made some very important points. In fact, I would say you have opened a new perspective. To be able to sit with young people at the age of, let's say, 50 or 55, and to be able to study with them, that's a learning experience in itself. And that's something that you have pointed out. Thank you very much for this. That's one of the powers of open and distance learning. Thank you very much for your nice feedback.
And more importantly,
our insistence on writing the assignments, there is actually a practical reason behind that. Most of us, after a certain age, lose the habit of writing for long. Our fingers get cramped. So the idea is to get us back into the habit of writing, so that in the examination we are able to, survive 3 hours. That's the idea.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would like to mention one thing that I have forgotten. When I got enrolled, the question paper pattern was like 8 questions, and we have to write 5 questions and get the mark. But to my astonishment, that when we are taking that, suddenly the question paper pattern changed, and we didn't know about that when we entered into the exam hall. I saw that now everything has been divided into different questions, and each question is also having subparts. So it is challenging you that unless you read the entire course material, you are not going to make it. So I really congratulate that you changed it. That was my experience. When I am doing it, the change has come. So I am thankful to you that you really challenge the students to explore their own potential. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful feedback, and it is like so seasoned and senior administrators and professionals which humble our students. And within the student community, I have been to number of induction programs, and they maintain a very, very low profile, not mentioning about their position, not mentioning about their status. They just simply sit there as a learner. It has been a very good and meaningful feedback from you. Thank you so much, Joseph Ji. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
May I now request Rupam Kapoor, please? Rupam Kapoor. Rupam, if Rupam Kapoor is still there. Mr. Shamdev.
Looks like there is space for only one Rupam in the meeting.
Yeah. Shamdev ji, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening to you, sir. And respected Vice Chancellor, educationalist, and all the alumni present today. I have made a small presentation. If you give me a right to share, then I'll do that also.
Please do that. Please do that. Try to be brief, because we have a good number of other participants.
Sir,
please go ahead.
We'll be completing within 3 or 5 minutes.
Please.
I hope my slides are visible.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sir, firstly, about me, I'm presently serving as a Lieutenant Colonel in the Indian Army. And I have done a diversified courses in man and material management, as shown on the view file. I think the slide is visible. As far as the IGNOU is concerned, I have done 2 courses: postgraduate diploma in disaster management 2017, postgraduate certificate in climate change in 2018, and presently I am doing 2 other courses. I am in the second year of master in psychology, counseling psychology, and simultaneously also doing PG diploma in intellectual property rights. My experience with the IGNOU is, overall, it's very wonderful experience while being in the service, because being in the army, you get posted to the various places, far-flung areas where you don't have the approach. But as an IGNOU has provided me an efficient services whenever I ask for, and I feel you people are giving a lot of respect to the army personnel also. This is my view. You have also provided a very prompt services online. It's very easy to register. It's very easy to pay fees. It's very easy to opt for the courses and all. Everything is available on the online mode. Regarding the feedbacks, there are small feedbacks. May not be other. I think alumni has already mentioned number of other things. Small feedback from my side is, what I feel is there are certain mistakes in the course materials. I request the IGNOU to just look into it. Otherwise, very updated, the course material there. But there are certain mistakes. Especially, I have seen in the case of MA Psychology first year, when we do the research psychology, research methodology, there are a number of calculation mistakes. Others are like that. Another feedback which I want to give is the dispatch of the course material. When I was doing PGDDM, I got the course material while my exams were there. Another thing is, I want to tell, sir, minor queries which the students are facing. I have visited, I think, regional center number of times, and number of students, I think they have faced a minor queries like assignment, practicals, other issue of identity card, certificates. I think they need to be taken care of and resolved at the earliest. Due respect should be given to the students. I have seen personally in various centers, like students are being, tackled in a very different way. Like he was to be told, like, you meet that guy told you meet that guy, and that in that the process the students are keep running here and there. I think that should be avoided. That the another thing is, employee should be very polite, because you are providing a service, and service provider has to be very polite. Another two feedbacks which I want to give you need to have a collaboration with the other business schools when we are dealing with the MBAs. I am specifically targeting the MBAs and all, and the placement after doing the MBAs. My contribution, I have already motivated at least 3 officers. They have already joined the IGNOU, 6 other ranks of the armed forces, and I have also, motivated at least 10 students to pursue education through the IGNOU. I have highlighted the EG admission process, examination method, including the postponement, like you want to appear in one paper, then in the next paper, and that easiness I have already highlighted. There are broader choice available in the various courses. I think I will continue with this, and I will keep motivating others, guys, because this is the one university I think the people can take advantage of. Thank you very much, sir. There is a lot of, I think, alumni is still waiting for their turn. I'll stop here, and I'm thankful for providing me a small opportunity to share my experience. Thank you, and Jai Hind. You are not audible, sir.
Thank you for your valuable feedback. We'll surely try to improve upon the existing arrangement, and we'll see to it that the student grievances, they are not only addressed, but they are addressed within the minimum stipulated time frame, and students are not put to any kind of hardships. Let me assure this on behalf of the authorities and on my own behalf of the regional center. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. रूपम कुमार कपूर जी, सॉरी, बताएं, थोड़ा ब्रीफली बताइएगा रूपम जी.
अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लें प्लीज. अपना ऑडियो अनम्यूट कर लें।
ऑडियो को अनम्यूट करिएगा रूपम कपूर जी प्लीज। आपकी ऑडियो नहीं अभी आ रही है, प्लीज अनम्यूट। जो माइक का आइकन है अगर उस पर क्रॉस है तो उसको क्लिक करिएगा तो हट जाएगा क्रॉस। आप देख लीजिए, अगर नहीं है तो विल गिव चांस टू अनदर जेंटलमैन, मिस्टर सुनील केसवानी, he has requested for
जी नमस्ते।
प्लीज बताएं सुनील जी।
जी, it's really my privilege to be given an opportunity to speak and share IGNOU learning experience by your good self and in the august presence of Honorable VC Sir, Professor Nageshwar Raoji, and the senior leadership of IGNOU. It's very prideful to be a part of, I should say, 71 lakh, a family which was updated to me in this program also by Dr. Mahopatra ji. With so many diversified domain professional, it's really a dream come true. Myself being in the late 50s, and it was, I would say, it was really very nostalgic experience for me. Nostalgic in the sense, I was reminded of a ad of the yesteryears, which I'm sure our seniors would be able to recall. And that was from Sarva Siksha Abhiyan of the Government of India, School Chale Hum. So that was really an heartwarming experience from me in my late 50s to be going back mentally to School Chale Hum. And I would say in very positive words that RC Delhi 3 Center at Dwarka at that point of time, I'll just now outline my course as well. And it was in the presence of Dr. Ekta Sharma ji, who was very, very helpful to me in getting me along the dates of those dissertations and things like that, which was an absolutely a new experience for me. So thankful to Dr. Ekta ji. And in the spirit of being a lifelong learner as a source of empowerment and to tap the future, I should say, growth avenues, I found the course of my choice at IGNOU, and that incidentally was MA in Education, which I joined back in 2016 and cleared in 2018, a few years back. And as IGNOU happens to be one of the best central universities in India to offer a great synergy, I would say, in pursuing through distance learning academic courses, along with, of course, our own professional work. So learning at my own place and pace, and irrespective of the geography, so that really offered me the leverage. So post my service back initially for the last 3 decades, I have been working as a full-time skill development trainer attached to institutions of higher learning and the corporate sector. And incidentally, IGNOU gave me the impetus and the opportunity to know and also pursue my later, which a PhD innings, which I have joined for the last 2 years, again in the field of education, and that too on workplace happiness for the university teachers. So I would say it was truly a dream come true. It was truly a dream come true. And as rightly pointed out by our worthy alumni, I could note what Poonamji, Poojaji, Deshant, and in particular Ramananjan and Raviji was mentioning about the comprehensive study booklets received from the university. I can even go to the extent of showing that they are still a part of me. They are still a part of me. And these are in my very favorite drawer. And I don't allow anybody to touch or to make any fun of those, because these are a part of my elite collection. And I share it with those who are really worthy of those knowledge and those calibers. And I am really heart-filled to say that these great collection which I have got, and it is one of my most prized possessions, and I really love them, of course, apart from my esteemed wife. So, I mean, they are really great. They're really great. And even the guide at my study center, I would take it with admiration to say that he, Professor now, Dr. Sunil Pandeji, now he has become the guide for the rest of my life. वो कहते हैं ना, this is अजीबो गरीब दास्तान है. So my sincere gratitude towards the university. And personally speaking, I have been promoting among my college students and working professionals about the IGNU and its latest courses in my skill development programs, which I continue to do on a pan-India basis, both offline and online. And fortunately, just like Madam Poonam was referring to, I have a very refined voice, so which has been used in the past to produce, I would say, great podcast and to do voiceovers on many of the programs. So whenever your good self feel that assistance is required to on the university audio front or the radio or a video broadcast, or even to the extent what I have been promoting among students, and that's a good technology offer, I can also go in for the audio books. Because now the voice technology is really taking over, and especially to make any and everyone inclusive. And if some people are finding it difficult to go through the booklets, so sometimes audiobooks especially come very handy in this case, and I can offer my assistance in that case. And to any of those specialist soft skills programs, especially on communication or business communication and people skills, which I have been doing since ages, I would say now nearly 3 decades. So it will be really my privilege. And one, two, or two very small suggestions which I could see as a student and as a well-wisher when I was going through the university website. Number one is that sometimes in many of the sections, I will not say all, but few of the sections in the university website, it is showing insecure. Now, I would request the leadership to take this point into consideration. It is on the top when the URL is there, it is showing insecure. So sometimes that offers doubt. Of course, I know that it is all good and this and that, but maybe due to some technical backdrop, it is showing insecure. So that should not be the case, and especially in a gigantic site of IGNU. And still, to many of the photographs which I saw 5 to 6 years back, the same photographs are being carried. I think that should be what I should say, updated or upgraded. And few of the sections, I can send it across through the mail later on. I don't have the ready reckoner and the reference just now. Few of the sections, when I was opening them, they are just not opening. It shows constant 404 error. So, I mean, in a lead university site like that, these type of errors can be very, very easily be avoided. And last, if not the least, on our alumni page of the IGNU, especially, apart from the 2 video testimonials of 2 senior, I would say, pass outs, I don't see any other, I would say, testimonials. Because at one end, if we say that we have more than 35 lakh alumni, and on the official site, we are only showing 2 testimonials, that doesn't work. And even on the written text of the, I would say, alumni of their feedback or whatever good they have experienced at IGNU, so there were only 5 of them. I mean, that's the latest which I'm saying, which I saw yesterday, to be precise. And out of that, two students were from B.Ed. I'm sure we have so much representation in terms of our courses available, which is mind-boggling. So even if we have one, I would say, credential or one testimonial going from even one course, we can easily touch 200 by any chance. So these are my humble suggestions. As a well-wishers, I would always remain committed to a university of such significance, and it will be really my honor to have any assistance or any help in the near future. Thanks once again, sir, for giving me this great opportunity to express. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Sunil Keswani sahab. Particularly your feedback on the things that you have noticed on the website. Yes, we have made a note of that. And hopefully next time we meet, you will see something in a better shape. And yes, we do look forward to your expertise in building the communication skills, the presentation skills, the business skills of our students, because that's one area where we think a great deal of effort is required. So we'll reach out to you.
Certainly.
Thank you. One more suggestion that starting with the minimum specified number of the testimonials, I would request not only Sunil Keswani ji, but all those who are present to give their testimonials on the IGNOU website and the Alumni website, whatever they feel, whatever they feel. That would be the most appropriate and right feedback, not only to us, but to all our current and prospective learners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, while agreeing with Mr. Sunil ji, I would like to share one information here that we are having lot of testimonials on our alumni Facebook page. If you will kindly visit our alumni Facebook page, you will find it there. But we fully agree with you that on our website also there should be more testimonials. Thank you so much, sir.
Correct. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have already stretched the time, so I would now request all the remaining, participants to complete their presentation at the earliest possible. Rupam Kapoor ji, आपको देख पा रहा हूँ मैं. आपका अगर ऑडियो ठीक हो गया है तो बताएं.
जी, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And actually, I've been hearing all of you right from the beginning, and it's really delightful for me to be on this platform. First of all, my respectful and honored salutations to all the dignitaries here, especially VC Sahab. And I actually am a special case student here because I enrolled in the year 1995 as a BSc student. I could not complete my BSc by the year 2000 because actually I had done my B Pharma and I joined my, at that time I could join the job. So couldn't resume back my academic furtherance. But I got married. I mean, again, there were some domestic commitments. I could not finish. And in year 2019, I actually approached IGNOU again for my remaining BSc. So at that time, I think I had completed near about 68 credits and some 30 credits were left on. So I was actually indebted to get, maybe it wasn't an experience that I could get back or could get a helpful hand from university side that I could enroll again and re-register. But fortunately, that was the last year that at last session rather, when my credits were actually transferred to my new registration number. So I'm extremely, I would say, fortunate enough to get that opportunity at that time. And actually I finished my whole course, means my kids are graduating the same year as I am graduating. So it's an honor that probably I will be along with them. But I had been serving as helping me in my family business with my husband, that we are running a small healthcare facilitation company, and we are globally helping out, and we are associated with most of the good chains in hospitals of North India and facilitating the whole channel. And that's the only thing. But I've been hearing all of you, all respectful dignitaries out here, all my seniors. It's actually delightful to be sharing the platform that I may not be I may be a very small person with my academic testimony. But yes, actually, as rightly said, that knowledge की कोई उम्र नहीं होती है. तो आप कभी भी हेल्प से, किसी भी सपोर्ट से अगर आपको कुछ चीज मिलती है, that's a wonderful thing to achieve, and that's in my bucket list. I have enrolled myself for master's program as well. मैंने 2021 में ही ग्रेजुएट किया है, और मैंने मास्टर्स प्रोग्राम के लिए भी उसी टाइम ही, जिस टाइम मेरा आई थिंक December 14th को मेरा रिजल्ट वो आया है, and the very next day 15th December को was the last day. So I enrolled myself in the master's program, or it was actually I would say my bucket list, one of my wish list things have come true. और सर थोड़ी सी मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है, because I have enrolled in masters in folklore and cultural studies. So I have been exploring that probably the material is not very much available on board, means abhi tak I have not received my study material as yet, and I could not find much thing on I mean, if I Google it, probably things are not very much there, and thoda sa we are not very keen, I mean, since being in I mean domestic affairs and all, we cannot sit too for long on laptops, and I mean technical we are not that sound, but I would say ki agar if it could be a help that I can get some good material to learn for my future master's program, that would be a great help for me. That's all. Thank you very much, sir. That's all I need to do.
Thank you for the valuable feedback, and let me assure once again that the material would be provided to you. I'm not too very sure, but you please check up the soft version, the digitized version of the study material is available on the e-Gyan Kosh link of IGNOU.
Certainly, sir.
Yeah, you check it up over there. It is all the programs, whatever are being offered by the university, whether online or offline, that is ODL mode. All the soft copy of the study material is available on the e-Gyan Kosh link of the university. That is on the main homepage of the IGNOU website. You have to simply register there yourself, and you can download the study material there itself.
Certainly, sir. Thank you.
So you need not to go anywhere. You'll get
certainly.
The study material.
And if I can be, I had actually served as a teacher for 13 years in a premier school in Delhi. And if I could be of any help, I'll certainly be. And I've been learning Braille to help few, blind students to help them out too. And if I could be of any help to IGNOU, I'll be more than happy to serve. And it's an in-depth, I would say, I'm indebted towards IGNOU for making me a graduate at least.
Only tagline I would add here, that promote as much as you can.
Certainly,
the university mechanism,
that's
the
very
university
much,
system,
very much
whosoever
there,
you come.
It's there in my blood as well as in my.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
valuable feedback.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now may I request Subhi Siddiqui ji. Subhi Siddiqui.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. I won't take much time because I think sare alumni bahut kuch bol diya, and these are the same feelings which I feel. But today I'm so delighted to be on this platform. The reason being, I have transformed my career path. Like, I was previously a graduate from NIT Jamshedpur. I was an engineer, and I worked in an MNC telecom communication Ericsson. But due to some family commitments, I left my job, and I traveled a lot in US, Europe, and then when I returned back, I joined an NGO. And after some time, right now, I can proudly say that I am a psychologist, and I completed my degree from IGNOU in master's degree in psychology in 2020. Right now, I'm pursuing PhD from SGT University, and I'm also self-employed. And as a volunteer work, I'm very happy to say the base that IGNOU has given me, and the learnings that I took from the study material that everybody has talked about, though it was outdated, but still it was very useful, which has been updated later on, but it is still in use for me. Right now, I am also volunteering for two NGOs. One is for underprivileged kids, जहाँ के कुछ बच्चे already IGNOU में admissions ले चुके हैं, because I asked them to do that because the fees is low and it's a distance learning and they can work as well as study, तो उनके लिए बहुत benefit होता है. And the second NGO that I'm working, that I volunteer for, is in the rural areas. We do some community radio programs on the community radio stations in the rural parts of Haryana, like Nuh district and other areas. There are 3 or 4 of them where we provide some mental health awareness programs, and all the queries, the live programs are there. We also visit a few schools where we can educate them regarding the mental health. So I have just these words to say regarding IGNOU, is that it has given me a base really to grow my career, because from turning from engineering side to psychology side is a bit difficult, लेकिन IGNOU ने मुझे एक वो base दिया जिसको मैं आज आगे बढ़ा पा रही हूँ, and I think this is the starting, and there will be later on बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी अभी. So I'm very thankful to IGNOU, and maybe if I can be of any help to IGNOU, it will be very great. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhiji, for a wonderful feedback you have given, and I'm sure that will not only transform this and convey this thing to our present and prospective learners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sudesh Kumar ji. सुदेश कुमार है तो
जी सर, सबसे पहले तो मैं आदरणीय वाइस चांसलर साहब जी का जो है प्रणाम करना चाहता हूं, उनको सादर नमन करना चाहता हूं. उनके साथ साथ प्रतिनिधित्व दल जो भी इग्नू से संबंध रखते हैं उनको मैं प्रणाम करता हूं, और उसके बाद मेरे सभी एलुमनाई एसोसिएशन के मेंबर्स. सर, मैं इससे पहले अपनी जर्नी बताऊं, थोड़ा सा कुछ ये भी बता देना चाहता हूं कि इग्नू में जो कुछ चीजें हैं वो सर बहुत ही प्रशंसनीय हैं. जैसे कि चाहे वो छात्रवृत्ति हो, आरक्षित वर्ग के छात्रों को 100% छात्रवृत्ति, जो कि सर बहुत ही अच्छा है, और मुझे लगता है कि ये वाकई में तारीफ के काबिल है. और इसके साथ साथ इसके स्टडी मटेरियल, और जो कि यूपीएससी सर, अभी मैं वर्तमान में थोड़ा सा अपना परिचय देता हूँ. मैंने सर यहाँ से एमए हिंदी किया है, मास्टर ऑफ आर्ट्स इन हिंदी. उसके बाद सर मैंने यहाँ से पीजी डिप्लोमा इन ट्रांसलेशन किया. उसके बाद सर बैचलर इन लाइब्रेरी एंड इंफॉर्मेशन साइंस, और उसके बाद सर पीजी डिप्लोमा इन जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन, और वर्तमान में अभी पीजी डिप्लोमा इन क्रिमिनल जस्टिस परसुइंग हूँ. तो सर यहाँ से मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला. और दरअसल अगर मैं कहूँ तो 12वीं में जो मेरे पास विषय था वो मेरे पास विज्ञान पृष्ठभूमि थी. तो सर उसके बाद मैं इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में एडमिशन के लिए भी गया, तो मुझे काफी समस्याएं आई दिल्ली से बाहर, क्योंकि सर शुरू से दिल्ली में रहा, परिवेश दिल्ली का मिला, तो जो सुविधाएं हैं उसके अनुकूल मिली नहीं. तो मैंने सोचा कि यहीं से अपनी पढ़ाई करूं. लेकिन सर यहाँ पे मुझे रेगुलर में एडमिशन नहीं मिल पाया, तो मैंने यहाँ का रुख किया. मैं हताश हो गया था हालांकि, बट यहाँ पे जो चीजें मिली और यहाँ पे जो स्टडी मटेरियल मिला मुझे, और यहाँ पे एडमिशन मुझे मिला, तो मैं इग्नू का बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि मुझे यहाँ तक मेरी इस जर्नी में इसने जो है बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है. और इसके साथ साथ सर यहाँ की जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है कि बच्चा आके एडमिशन ले सकता है, और बहुत सी चीजें हैं यहाँ पे जो सर बिल्कुल प्रशंसा के पात्र हैं आप लोग. और एक जो इंटरेक्शन होता है बच्चों का, कि बच्चों को किस तरह से इंटरेक्ट करना है उनके साथ, इग्नू के मेंबर्स को, और जैसे हम लोगों को यहाँ पे मौका मिला है अपनी बातें रखने का, तो सर ऐसा सभी यूनिवर्सिटीज में पॉसिबल नहीं है. मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत अच्छी बात है. और सर प्रॉपर जो एक कम्युनिकेशन, जो एक इग्नू जो पर्सनली जो बच्चे से साधता है कम्युनिकेशन, जिसे संपर्क साधता है, तो वो सर बहुत ही ज्यादा जिसे कहते हैं बिल्कुल प्रशंसनीय है वो भी. और सर ये ऑल ओवर इंडिया में है, गांव-गांव तक, दूर-दूर तक, ग्रामीण शहरों तक भी इसकी पहुंच है, जो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. और इसके साथ साथ ही इग्नू दिल्ली में ही नहीं, इसने अपने पैर पूरे संपूर्ण भारत में और यहाँ तक कि विदेशों में भी पसार रखे हैं. तो वो बहुत ही मतलब जिसे कहते हैं कि एक बहुत ही अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है, और बहुत अच्छी चीजें. इसके साथ साथ सर डेली दिन प्रतिदिन या हर सेशन में, हम हर सेमेस्टर में देखते हैं कि नए नए प्रोग्राम जो हैं वो इंड्यूस हो रहे हैं, नए नए प्रोग्राम आ रहे हैं. जैसे पीजी डिप्लोमा इन जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन के साथ साथ और भी कई सारे प्रोग्राम्स, सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेवलपमेंट वगैरह। तो सर मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ पे वैरायटी ऑफ कोर्सेज जो है वो अद्भुत है। इसकी जो एक जिसे कहते हैं एक फीचर है इग्नू का कि समय समय पर नए नए कोर्स इंड्यूस करता है, ताकि जिससे कि बच्चे जो हैं अपने जो ड्रीम को जो है वो जी पाते हैं। मैंने भी एक समय पे मुझे भी लगा था कि मैं होपलेस हो गया था, मैं डिप्रेस हो गया था, तनाव का दौर मैंने देखा है तो इंजीनियरिंग छूटने के बाद। लेकिन सर उसके बाद इग्नू से मेरी यात्रा शानदार रही और मैं इसे यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं, मैं इसे अपना परिवार मानता हूँ। और सर मैं अपने आप को बहुत सौभाग्यशाली मानता हूं कि मुझे जो है इग्नू के साथ जुड़ने का मौका मिला। और सर लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल भी है मेरी, उस पे तकरीबन 1200 के आसपास लोग जुड़े हुए हैं। और जब भी मैं इग्नू के किसी भी सदस्य को देखता हूं तो मैं दिल से बिल्कुल सोचता हूं कि उन्हें और भी मतलब मेरे थ्रू वो और भी लोगों से जुड़े और अच्छा अच्छा करें या जो भी है। अपने स्तर पर सर मैं हमेशा सोचता हूं कि इग्नू के लोगों को प्रमोट करूं और उनके लिए कुछ करूं। और मैंने अपने साथ साथ सर यहाँ तक कि मेरे घर पे भी अगर कोई न्यूज़पेपर वाला भी आता है या उनके घर में और भी लोग हैं और मेरे भाई बहन हो गए या साथ साथ में जैसे कई सारे लोग हैं, उनको भी मैंने कई प्रोग्राम में बोल के मैंने एडमिशन दिलवाया, उनकी काउंसलिंग करके कि नहीं तुम अच्छा कर सकते हो और इग्नू आपको पूरी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी देता है इन चीजों की कि आप ये चीजें आप कर सकते हैं। तो बहुत से लोगों को मैंने एडमिशन दिलवाया है इस इग्नू में बोल के, क्योंकि अगर मेरी लाइफ में अगर कुछ अच्छा हुआ है, सकारात्मकता मुझे महसूस हुई है और अच्छा अगर बीत रहा है तो मुझे लगता है कि औरों के साथ भी ये चीजें हो सकती है। क्योंकि सर बहुत छोटे से मैंने सफर शुरू किया था और अभी बहुत से कोर्सेज हो गए हैं। वर्तमान में मैं यूपीएससी की तैयारी भी कर रहा हूँ। और सर इसके साथ साथ एसएससी जूनियर हिंदी अनुवादक की परीक्षा थी, जिसमें एक दस्तखत की वजह से मेरी मुख्य परीक्षा रह गई, नहीं तो आज कहीं ना कहीं जॉब हो सकता है होती। और भाभा एटॉमिक रिसर्च सेंटर का भी मैंने मुख्य परीक्षा दिया हुआ है। इसके साथ साथ सर आरआरबी की भी कुछ परीक्षाएं जो हैं वो मेरी क्लियर हैं। तो सर प्रयास हूँ अभी भी और बिल्कुल लगा हुआ हूँ सर, थकना नहीं है, रुकना नहीं है, बिल्कुल मैं लगा हुआ हूँ। और सर इसी के साथ मैं अपनी एक बात को जो है एक लाइन के साथ खत्म करूंगा। और इससे पहले खत्म करूं तो उससे पहले बस मैं सर ये कहूंगा कि अगर मेरे से अगर संभव हो सके मेरी अगर हेल्प के आप लोगों को कभी भी जरूरत पड़े, सर मैं बिल्कुल तत्पर हूँ, तैयार हूँ सर। इग्नू क्योंकि मेरा परिवार है, मैं परिवार मानता हूँ इसको अपना। और सर एक जो मोटिवेशन से भरा, मैं कविताएं भी लिखता हूँ और 700 रचनाएं लगभग कर चुका हूँ। तो एक मोटिवेशन से भरा बच्चों के लिए, क्योंकि इसका प्रसारण यदि हो रहा है तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो भी सुने, जिससे थोड़ा सा मोटिवेशन भी मिल सके। कि भटकना अगर मैं चाहूं भी तो मेरे ख्वाब मेरे सामने डटकर खड़े हो जाते हैं। एक ख्वाब को हकीकत बनाने की आरजू ही है जो भटकने नहीं दे रही है मुझे। जी सर, धन्यवाद सर, आभार इस मंच को सर मंच पर बुलाने के लिए, आमंत्रित करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आभार। नमस्ते सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सुदेश जी, आपका बहुत वैल्यूबल फीडबैक रहा। मे आई नाउ
जी सर।
रिक्वेस्ट सुजीत कुमार जी. I would request the other participants to be little brief, because we have already outstretched our time limits, and all senior officials, they have their own other commitments as well. So I request that please be brief and precise. Sujit.
Yeah,
please.
thank you so much, sir, for offering this opportunity. I think I'm audible there, right?
Yeah.
Respected Vice Chancellor and other delegates here. So my name is Sujit, and I will try to keep it brief and finish in 2-3 minutes.
Please.
Definitely. So my association with IGNU started in 2007, and I did a bachelor in social work, and I have also like a BSc in mathematics. And it was a very intriguing for me to get into the Delhi School of Social Work, and then I did MPhil, and then I PhD from JNU. And luckily, recently I finished my MA in economics from IGNU. And you will be surprised that I'm also enrolled into another program right now, MA in political science. Yeah, and I have been working as a researcher and an academics with different university. Right now, I am with the lead at Kriya University as a research manager. And so, as I said, like in 2007, when I joined this program, I have visited the Delhi office also due to some office problems in getting the certificate and all. And especially what I appreciate about IGNU is 3 things which really matters. Like when the universities across the country is crumbling, and especially if you look into the state university, IGNU is performing very well. in terms of study materials, conducting the on-time exam, delivering the result. And I feel always surprised, like when you finish your exam and result is out, you get your provisional certificate, your degree at your given address. And also I appreciate the grievance redressal mechanism. I don't know who handled this, but they guys are very work excellently. I mean, you get a very time response. But given all these better things or the excellent things, I have some suggestions also. Like, I think people living in Delhi are more aware, more like aware to register complaint and all. But if you move away from the capital, you will find a degradation of accessibility of information and all, like in terms of assignments, in terms of other information, like why I'm not getting books or result on time. And I have been helping the students. Even some of the students don't know how to write an email, because IGNOU is a students where different kind of students, like who can't get into the usual university system they get into. So I think if you can work on these things, like I'm just giving an example. Last year I helped a student to enroll in a BA economics, I mean BSc economics, and I was looking into the assignments. So there is no very segregated separate folder is made there for the BA economics assignment, like these are the chapters. So if you can work on such small things, it would be very well useful for the students. Second, I think if you can look into the, if there is a possibility, if you can, because I experienced that usually the telephone number is not picked on time. I think it happens usually in the government offices. So if we can have a national call center where can students call and get a guidance like that, like toll-free number. Yeah, third is like empathy is very much important. So, but I'll say you, even the staff or the study center who are running these programs, they have also a sense of some kind of discrimination between the regular center or regular course and the correspondence course. So apart from this, if you can do some training whom you give the study center, allot the study center and the staff engage there, make them to empathize with the students, right? Like they are not just enrolled for the degree, but they are also pursuing they are here to pursue the education, knowledge and everything. So with that, I mean, thank you so much for inviting me here. And also I would say, like, launch some courses, like now we have a great amount of job in data research analysis, like we need some market oriented course. So if possible, launch this such kind of courses, sir. So thank you so much. Yeah, I think it was brief. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Sujit ji, for wonderful feedback, and I'm sure that we'll surely try to bring about the changes which you have suggested. Thank you. Now, may I request Swati Bhandari? Please be brief, Swati.
Right, sir. Right. A very good evening to everybody sitting here. I've been a part of this meet from the very beginning. I was only 15 minutes late, by the way. I'll keep it very short. And it's been a wonderful journey with IGNOU. I'm a gold medalist in creative writing in English. I received this gold medal during the 33rd convocation. That was the pre-pandemic era. Things changed dramatically after that. And in my case, it is just that I had plans to go to Canada. I had applied for PR and I really had to do a course to up my score. And I applied for this program and I ended up getting a gold medal. So it has empowered me in a huge way. I now run my own content services agency. It goes by the name Content Art Pro, where we provide content services to international law firm. Recently, I signed a client based out of Toronto, Canada, and I'm also having my own venture wherein I create beauty products, which are handmade beauty products, chemical free. So like I said, the pandemic has changed the game for many of us. I don't know whosoever is in a job or whosoever has this entrepreneurial ability, everybody has resorted to something, but IGNOU happened to me for good. Like, I was able to gain so much confidence after my creative writing course. I just hopped on to this creative journey and I don't see myself stopping, actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you so much for your time. And I will not take other people's time. I'll respectfully end the conversation here. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the very brief, crisp, and a very positive response. And it has really been wonderful. And all our best wishes to you for all your future endeavors,
sir.
And of course for promoting this great institution. Thank you. May I now request Vandana Sharma?
Sir, if I can be of any help, please let me know. That's about it.
We'll surely be in touch with you.
Yeah.
We'll surely be in touch with you. Thank you. Thank you, Swati. Vandana Sharma,
Thanks.
please. वंदना जी आपकी आवाज नहीं आ पा रही है. Vikas Goel, if he's there.
Namaskar and good evening, sir, and
Good evening.
respected vice chancellors, sirs, or regional directors, sirs, and dignitaries, and my alumni friends over here. So myself, Vikas Goel, I'm from Delhi. So I'm working in a Fortis Healthcare, Fortis Escorts Hospital as the head of supply chain. I have done two programs from the IGNU. One is PGDHHM in 2019 batch and PGDDM in 2021 batch. So both the programs are very wonderful, which helps me to enhance my managerial skills. So both these programs have helped me to develop my conceptual skills, technical skills, and human skills, which is very practical and implementable in my job in my hospital. And few things about I would like to tell about the IGNU. One is a learner. When we get any certificate, any communication, any mails, they use word as a learner. So that shows the association and belonging with the university. Like other university schools, we heard about the students, candidates, cadre, participants. But this learner word gives like a feelings like incredible India. So that shows like sympathy in heart, like this belongingness. They are for the serving to the students, like sincerity in action, purity in heart, purity in thoughts. So that gives a sense of belonging to the university. Secondly, in my hospital management program, my study center is the Army Hospital, RR Hospital in Dholakua, which is one of the lifetime achievement experience. With the grace of IGNU and support of IGNU, I got that study center. The learning, the faculty, the hospital management programs which they taught about, the presentations, the field visits, the assignment marks, and the other things. It's a very wonderful program, which I have not received that information in my MBA and MHA, which I have done from other universities. So that's a very wonderful and lifetime achievement experience for this program over there. And so my request and kind submission is if we have an MHA program also, like we have an MBA, full-fledged MBA from the university, definitely the hospital managers and the hospital people will join that program also. And I'm also encouraging in my hospitals to join the hospital management, health-related programs of the IGNU over there. And secondly, sir, like I'm working in a hospitals, so we are dealing with a lot of rules, regulations, license, schedules, and like a various acts like MCA Act, Drug and Cosmetic Acts, and other acts and government certificate compliances. If we have a certain courses on that, that give us a real-time information to our hospitals managers, how we can cater, what are the rules and regulations applicable to the hospitals. So we get a theoretical information also through a dignified university like IGNU, sir. So it's my kind submission to all of you. It's a wonderful experience, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vikas ji. Thank you for a wonderful feedback. Thank you. I could see Vandana Sharma. Please be brief, Vandana ji.
Hello.
हाँ बोलिए, आपकी आवाज आ रही है वंदना जी.
Sir, before I begin to start, I confirm, am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are audible. You are visible as well.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind to all distinguished dignitaries. This is Cadet Warrant Officer Vanna from 2 Delhi Girls Air Squad. I am Air Force NCC Cadet of Delhi. Just our unit is called 2 Delhi Girls Air Squad. Then just brief my journey in Air Wing NCCs. The number of activities which I did in Air Wing gives me a great experiences of the above. One of the great experiences is to flying in in a microlight aircraft as a co-pilot. It was the best experiences of my life. I did these experiences more than 10 times in my life. And I also did do the same thing again in next year. Now, so the great experiences is to participate in Republic Day Parade organized under Ministry of Defense. I am one of the cadets who got a chance to march on Rajpath on 26 January in 2018. I feel proudly to achieve all this achievement of my life only because of IGNU support me in my all academic courses, whatever I did. So I think that IGNU provide me enough time and support to achieve all my extraordinary activities and curricular activities, whatever I want to do in my life. So IGNOU is the best way for the defense persons who want to do any extra activities which they want to do in their life. So lastly, I just say thanks to this IGNOU. And last, my words is this. जब कर लिया है हौसला ऊंची उड़ान का, तो फिर फिजूल है देखना कद आसमान का. To this, and Jai Hind, and thank you to all.
वंडरफुल, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. बहुत बढ़िया वंदना जी, अपना हौसला ऐसे ही आप बढ़ाए रखें और दूसरों की हौसला अफजाई करें. पूरा विश्वास है कि बहुत सारे लोग आपसे लाभान्वित होंगे और आपसे इनकरेज होकर के इसमें आगे बढ़ेंगे. खास करके आई एम सेइंग टू दिस persons from defense and ladies, the women, those who will be more empowered. Thank you so much.
डॉक्टर पांडे
जी,
डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार बहुत देर से इंतजार कर रहे हैं. प्लीज इनवाइट हिम आल्सो.
ओके.
Thank you, sir.
अनिल कुमार जी.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Respected VC sir and other dignitaries who are present today, and Dr. Ashok Sharma, Regional Director RC Delhi 1, Mohapatra sir, Rupam sir, everybody, and my dear alumni members who are in this program. Actually, this is my second alumni association or interaction this time, because I was also in the last month's alumni meet, which was conducted by a collective one conducted by Dehradun RC along with Chandigarh and Shimla. So I don't have much to say, in fact, but just for the benefit of the other members of the IGNOU fraternity or the alumni friends. In fact, my journey with, and I would like to thank Dr. Ashok Sharma for making me the star student, I think a few months back on his Facebook page and under his RC. Sir, thank you so much, sir. And in fact, my journey with IGNOU started in 1994. I think I must be one of the senior most learners of this university in 1994 when I did MBA in HR from Calcutta Regional Center. That time I was in Sikkim, that is Gangtok. And this, in fact, university has enabled me to achieve various laurels and records. And till date, I have 6 masters from IGNOU and 8 diplomas, PG diplomas, postgraduate certificate courses. And right now I'm about to complete the MA JMC from IGNOU. So it would be around 7 masters and 8 this thing. Other than this, my name appears. I'm also part of our Innovation Council of the university as an alumni expert. And also I was academic counselor for IGNOU at 2 of the RCs of the university at Guwahati and Gangtok. My name appears in the Limca Book of Records for holding maximum number of PG degrees and from most number of universities. And right now I actually have 26 masters, 1 PhD, 3 graduations, so 30 degrees. And these all, in fact, span over 13 states and UTs of the country and from 17 different universities. And the maximum, of course, is from IGNOU. That is 6 masters from IGNOU out of the 26. And of course, Golden Book of World Records also I am there because Guinness does not have a chapter on academics. So this is regarding the programs which I've done from IGNOU. Current position, if you ask me, I'm right now General Manager in the Reserve Bank of India, based in Chandigarh at present. And before this, I was with the Government of Gujarat as Additional Secretary of Finance and also in Customs and Central Excise in the initial years of my career from 92 to 2000. And I think IGNOU has been, as many of our alumni friends have already mentioned, the study material is at par the best in the country if you go for the distance learning mode of education. And just to share with you, in fact, my interview for the Reserve Bank selection was based on the project work which I did for my MBA. That was in 1999. So I think this has been very, very useful. And and just to add to this, the PG degrees which I have from the IGNOU, they have also helped me to clear 8 UGC NET certifications in different subjects. So right now I am in fact having 8 UGC NET, and out of these 8, most of the PG degrees which I have, they are from IGNOU For example, I have net in economics, management, commerce. These all I have done from IGNOU. Of course, political science, public administration, journalism, mass communication, etc. So I think the university's knowledge base or the study material is very, very good. And I think anybody who is to go for any competitive exam, especially at the higher education level, it is very, very useful. And of course, one or two suggestions which I'll give it to the authorities here. That will be a later part of my sharing of the experience. But nonetheless, the journey has been very, very fruitful, and I wish that I will continue enrolling in courses one after the other once I finish my MA GMC. And other than this, I think the fourth question which you had asked was regarding the contribution how I can make. The contribution, of course, as I said before, I was an academic counselor in 2 of the regional centers, I think for almost 4 or 5 years in the MBA as well as MA economics. And given an opportunity, but because of my, I think, job responsibilities, I'm not in a position to devote much time for this work. And as somebody is mentioning, the pedagogy which is there in IGNOU is very, very excellent. During my days, I think there were 2 types of assignments. One was called the tutor marked assignment. The other was computer marked assignment. We had to send those objective type of assignments to IGNOU headquarters for evaluation, and the study center is to evaluate the tutor mark. But a lot of changes have taken place. Now I'm finding most of the regular ODL programs are being offered in the online mode. So I think a lot of experience has to be gained from the other institutions which are there, which are offering the online programs. And going forward, let's see how the online mode of delivery mechanism is acceptable by the students, and what are the challenges and the hiccups which the university may face. This is all I have to share with you, and I'm very, very glad that this particular, I've listened to many of the very senior most alumni who are present in today's interaction with a lot of experience, a lot of insight and thoughtfulness in the programs of IGNOU. And from my side, I'm every time available. And because in the Innovation Council meetings also, we sometimes participate, but because of the COVID pandemic, most of the meetings are online, which as we all know, are not that much effective at times. So thank you very, very much, especially Dr. Ashok Sharma sir, RC Delhi 3, RD, Mahapatra and everyone who are present today. And I think we'll continue interacting in this particular mode. And going forward, I think as somebody was mentioning, like I'm also alumni of many universities. For example, I did MBL from NLUCI, National Law School, India University, Bangalore. They have a card which they give to the alumni. So that is online card. If you can also have that type of a system where I can show that, yes, look, I'm a member of IGNOU alumni. So that is going to give more attachment or belongingness to the university's alumni. So if you can think on those lines also, that will be very much better. So thank you once again very, very much. I think this was the second time I am on this platform, and thank you very much. One small request, some systems can be improved. For example, the study center, of course, as I said, I've studied in 5 regional centers across the country till now, and some are good, some are not that good. But of course, some problems are there in many of the study centers. As somebody was mentioning, no discrimination should be there between the regular college, because many of the academic counselors are from that university. So sometimes we feel that the type of attention which we require is not given to us. So that can be thought upon. And a small request, if you can launch MA Public Policy. In the last interaction, I requested you, if you can launch MA Public Policy, which could be very, very helpful to people like us who are in the public policy domain, in the regulatory domain. So this is all I have to say. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anil. And IGNOU is, I must say, singularly fortunate to have learners like you holding the record in the Limca Book of Records for having completed so many master's programs, so many other programs all across different parts of the country and from different institutions. And your experience will surely encourage our present and our prospective learners as well. Thank you so much for your very positive feedback.
Thank you.
May I now request Vikas Singha. Yash Babbar. Yuvraj.
Yash is perhaps a part of our team, so we can invite Yuvraj.
Okay, Yuvraj Siddharth. Acha, Yash is part of the team. Okay, Yuvraj Siddharth. Please.
Yuvraj just got disconnected.
Sir, as of now, I hope we have covered all the invited alumni.
He has come back. He has come back.
अंजलि शर्मा भी कोई आ गई है. अंजलि, हाँ, युवराज बताएं.
Good evening to VC sir and all the faculty members and all the alumni present here. I am Yuvraj Siddharth. I did my master's in anthropology from IGNOU in year 2020. And I also qualified for civil services in year 2020. And my reason for joining basically the IGNOU course was that I came to know that for preparation for UPSC, IGNOU material and IGNOU course itself is very useful. So as my option was anthropology, so I took IGNOU MA course also along with it. And certainly the entire course material was very helpful in my learning. And due to this, I was able to qualify the civil services examination. Presently, I am posted in Narmada district of Gujarat as assistant collector. And as it is also a tribal district, so the IGNOU material of anthropology is quite relevant in understanding the conditions in the area. As far as I feel that this region also has the Statue of Unity, and in recent years it saw a rapid pace of development, due to which there is a large number of people, especially in age between 20 to 35, that जिनको मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन अब मिली है कि वो क्या क्या कोर्सेज कर सकते हैं या क्या कर सकते हैं, तो उस हिसाब से इग्नू का यहाँ पे काफी स्कोप है. और मेरे ख्याल से अभी तक जो स्टडी सेंटर्स हैं इग्नू के, उनमें से नर्मदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में अभी भी नहीं है, तो एक यहाँ पे भी खुल सकता है. और इसके अलावा जैसे मुझे लगा जैसे दिल्ली जैसे नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है, सिविल सर्वेंट्स के लिए एक डिस्टेंस कोर्स शुरू कराया है उन्होंने, जैसे लपासना में हमारे लिए. तो इस प्रकार से इग्नू भी इस तरह के कोर्सेज शुरू कर सकती है, तो वो काफी एडवांटेज वाला होगा. और इग्नू के प्रमोशन के लिए भी, और जो सिविल सर्वेंट्स यंग सिविल सर्वेंट्स डिफरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया में जाएंगे, वो भी इग्नू को प्रमोट करेंगे उस तरह से, और यूथ के लिए भी काफी अच्छा रहेगा. तो इसी तरह से अगर मेरी किसी भी प्रकार की जरूरत पड़े तो मैं पूरी तरह से शामिल होने के लिए तैयार हूँ. थैंक यू टू ऑल.
Thank you, Yuvraj ji, for the wonderful feedback you have given. Anjali Sharma.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to be a part of this meeting. My name is Anjali Sharma. I began my journey with IGNOU in 2018 through my enrollment in Masters in Economics. I had a great learning experience. The course and precise comprehensive material helped me to crack NET JRF exam in second year of my Masters, after which I joined as a JRF scholar in economics at Humanities and Social Science Department in IIT Delhi. My research area is agriculture, and my thesis is about crop livestock interactions in Indian agricultural systems. My experience at IGNOU was greatly significant as it shifted my focus towards learning and knowledge. I realized the significance of knowledge of self, self-awareness, and our role in the world that we inhabit. I could learn about local economy, something that is missing from popular parlance in economic studies. I wish to contribute in two ways. One, by building a local research and data network with IGNOU students who come from grassroots and reconcile traditional knowledges with modern knowledge. And two, by building a curriculum for knowledge of self, as we talked about Swadhyay in the introductory song of IGNOU, for students, which form the basis of Indian knowledge systems. Would be an honor to stay in touch with the university for the two things and more such things. Thank you.
Thank you for a wonderful feedback, Anjali ji. and I wish all the best for your future endeavors. I hope we have covered all the invited alumni. Now, may I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, if he's there. Otherwise, I request Director RSD to give his observations on the interactions which we have had and the kind of the experiences which were shared by our alumni. Dr. Mahapatra, sir.
So are you sure that all these invited alumni have really got an opportunity to share their views? If anybody else is left out, you can still raise your hand. So we have got plenty of time for you. We are not in a hurry. I hope we have covered, and many of them have left, but still few of them are around. So I'll be very brief in my concluding observations. It is really wonderful to listen to the kind of feedback that has come from our distinguished alumni. We started with a Lieutenant General of the Indian Army, Lieutenant General Suri, initiated the process. So there are a few army officials who are present today, and they have shared their thoughts. Even a Lieutenant Colonel was there. He was also giving his views on their experience with the university. We have also heard Ramanujam Banerjee Sahab, who is a senior scientist of Government of India, and he was giving a very in-depth analysis of what IGNOU is, what IGNOU should be. That is a wonderful feedback that we have heard. Dr. Anil Kumar ji, to I can't express in words. With 6 IGNOU master degrees, 8 IGNOU PG diploma and certificates, 8 national eligibility test qualified, and covering 5 regional centers of the university, is a true champion of IGNOU, because many of our regional directors may not have seen 5 regional centers in their entire career. So as a learner, he has seen 5 regional centers, and he has done so many courses from IGNOU. So I can say that you are a true champion of the university. There are so many gold medalists who were here. I was really very, very fortunate to listen to their feedback, particularly Poonamji, when she was narrating her experience as a radio jockey. She was giving a very lively presentation of what it is. And there are so many. Pooja Chetri was there, who was talking about her experience in MNC. Then associate professors who are there. We have Dr. Bijeta, who is an associate professor. And lot many feedback has come from so many quarters, like whether we can have a MA in public policy. Our young friend Yuvraj was also saying that whether we can have a study center in Narmada district, and whether we can have a course for the young IS or the civil servants. In fact, IGNOU had a course. That is exactly what Dr. Anil Kumar was saying, MA in public policy for the trainees who were there in the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy. And when I was handling the IGNOU examination for the whole country, I was also conducting the examination for these IS professionals in Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy in Mussoorie for almost 7-8 years. But it was a Government of India Ministry of Home Affairs sponsored program. So now that after maybe it continued for 10 years, after that it got discontinued. It's a wonderful idea, and I think that this could be implemented. And lovely feedback from so many people, though I have jotted down because of the long marathon meeting. I don't want to extend it further, but definitely this gives a real pan-India character of Indira Gandhi National Open University. Pan-India character in terms of our profile of our learners, pan-India character in terms of the courses that they have done, pan-India character in terms of what experience they have shared, because I always believe that even if I meet a single student, that is the feedback. from the entire student community about the university. I never encourage student to come to me in a group. I always meet a single student, give plenty of time. I say, whatever you want to say about the university, please tell me, so that I know what is happening outside my chamber. So sitting in my own chamber, unless I get feedback from the learners, from the distinguished alumni, we don't know what is going on in the university. And you people have given us wonderful feedback today. We have taken down many of your feedbacks that you have given, and particularly Ramanujam Banerjee Shah, many feedback that you have given are being jotted down here. Definitely we'll discuss these things maybe tomorrow when we meet officially with our colleagues, senior colleagues in the university. All in all, it's a wonderful, wonderful program. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful remarks and observation you have made about the alumni, and they're all motivated to contribute further and to get associated with the university in one form or the other. And I'm sure they'll be all the more bigger champions for the university system as a whole when they come forward with many more such ideas and initiatives. Thank you very much. May I now request Dr. Rupam, please.
3 घंटे का समय बीत चुका है. आई एम नॉट श्योर हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस हैव द पेशेंस टू स्टिल स्टे ऑन. मैं बस ब्रीफली ये कहना चाहूंगा कि हमारे एल्यूमनाई इन मीटिंग्स के थ्रू एक दो इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें हम अचीव कर रहे हैं. एक तो ये है कि वो हमारे सच्चे हितैषी हैं, इसलिए हमें वो हमारी कमियों के बारे में बताते हैं और हमें ये बताते हैं कि ऐसा करना जरूरी है और ऐसा करने से इस व्यवस्था में सुधार होगा. ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. और दूसरा, वो हमें ताकत देते हैं. जब वो ये कहते हैं कि हम आपके साथ आपकी मदद करने के लिए तैयार हैं, तो हमारा हौसला बढ़ता है. कई लोगों ने आज बताया और हम उन्हें इस मीटिंग के बाद इनविटेशन मेल्स भेजने वाले हैं कि आप आए, हमारे साथ बैठें और हम आगे की स्ट्रेटजी तय करेंगे कि कैसे हम आपकी मदद ले सकते हैं. तो बियॉन्ड दिस, आई थिंक द काइंड ऑफ फीडबैक दैट वी हैव रिसीव्ड, आई एम ट्रूली ग्रेटफुल एंड आई एम स्पीचलेस. थैंक यू सो वेरी मच ऑल ऑफ यू.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर रूपम. हेमापन जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगी?
Namaskar, dhanyawad sir, and as Dr. Rupam has just said, I think a lot has been said and expressed in this long meeting, and I think it's inexplicable, the joy, the happiness, the pride in listening to all our distinguished alumni, and of course IGNOU authorities, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, our esteemed Director RSD, Director Campus Placement, and Dr. Pandey sir and Shri Ashok Sharma ji and all colleagues of the regional center. I think it's just overwhelming, and we from this platform, I just wish to say that your feedback has been very valuable, and we look forward to your support, and I'm sure this community is going to grow by the day, as we have just seen right from the beginning of the presentation. Thank you so much, and thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hemapant. May I now request my colleague, Dr. Ekta, to please propose vote of thanks.
Good evening to you all. It is a great honor and privilege to me to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. On behalf of the Regional Center, first and foremost, I express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Nageshwar Rao ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, who despite his busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Shrikant Mahapatra, Director, Regional Services Division, for his invaluable guidance and support. I also express my thanks to Dr. V.P. Rupam, Director, Campus Placement Cell, for his continued support and information for organizing this event smoothly. Also, I express my thanks to Dr. Hemapant, Additional Director, RSD, for her support and information for organizing the event smoothly. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, Senior Regional Director of Regional Center Delhi 3, for his leadership, initiatives, and constant hard work in organizing and conducting this event successfully and smoothly. I also express my thanks to Dr. Ashok Sharma, Regional Director, Regional Center Delhi 1, for his support in organizing the event smoothly. I also express my thanks to the staff of Regional Center for their continued hard work and technical support in organizing and conducting the event smoothly and successfully. Also, I express my thanks to our alumni learners for sharing their learning experiences with IGNOU and their valuable feedback, and also for offering their support for further growth and progress of IGNOU as an open distance educational institution at national and global level. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. We can now play the national anthem, and that will be the end of the program. Pramod ji.
Yes, sir.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all for the very effective support which we have got, and particularly from our alumni, the kind of the feedback which we have received, the encouragement which we have received from the authorities.